welcome to another episode of The Flank, man. I'm joined by Patrick Price, a.k.a. Aches. We got Chris Duarte, a.k.a. Parasite, and of course, we got the one and only, the executive producer, Mr. Benjay Nassim. Gentlemen, how we feeling today, man? Everybody feeling all right? I gotta fix Pat's head glitching. I gotta fix Pat here.
Damn, you got me low.
I got you, Pat.
You always got me off center, but it's all good because of the pun. It's been a good day, Tom. Obviously, start off with the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's like Max Verstappen's gonna go back to back on chips. Watch Manchester United get absolutely beat down, Tom. I know you saw the score.
7-0, bro. 7-0. I mean, seven. You know how I saw? I knew something was up because I went to Twitter and I saw Castro. You know, Castro's like the biggest. He's the biggest Man United fan, so he was down bad for sure, man. I felt bad for my mans, but 7 though, yeah, I don't know, bro. How you doing?
So is Wheel. Our boy, Wheel was down bad too.
Oh, really? What's he, Man United fan or something?
Yeah.
It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Man United, they got smoked today. Chris, how you feeling, man? I see that you might be competing.
Yeah, so I wasn't really gonna play challengers. Reason being, I just couldn't find like a team, and the stream's been popping off. But then like a couple of my friends, like there's been a lot of sketching going down in the challenger scene right before the tournament. So a couple of my friends just like needed teams, and you know, I have a decent amount of points, and I've been playing. So I ended up playing with Vickle, who just got dropped off of one of his teams, and he's obviously the Mutineer sub. And we couldn't find any teammates, so we looked over the pond, and we got some of his Spanish brothers that couldn't make it to the tournament because of lack of funding, and we got them over last minute. So yeah, it's like we got a little double NA, double Spanish team. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're a pickup team. We got nothing to lose. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I just like to play COD. I like to, you know, talk about COD. I'm just a COD enthusiast, bro.
Yeah, I'm the same way, bro. We'll obviously be supporting you over here, brother. We'll be supporting you and wish you the best, man. We want to see you get that W. You know what I mean? And then, of course, we got the one and only Patrick Price, a.k.a. Aches. What's going on, Pat? You doing all right?
Doing great, Tom. Lakers won today, battling for the playoff spot while LeBron is out. AD had a monster game, so I was
always good.
That. Glad to see they got that.
They've looked better with Russell coming in, right? Like when they made some trades, right? And they've looked better ever since.
But
sent Russ the fuck out of there.
And D'Angelo Russell are injured right now, so.
Oh, they're injured?
AD's
okay.
having to put the team on his back.
LeBron's got a foot thing, right?
Yeah, Ben, your head is big as hell. Let me see if I can. I'm cropped.
You're off center too.
Yeah, let me fix your crop here, Ben. I'm like
off center.
Really, I'm gonna fix you. I'm gonna fix you here.
But honestly, bro, so we were talking about this yesterday. We saw this map schedule, this match schedule. We're like, oh, it's gonna be a really good day of matches, and I think it delivered today. There's a lot of really interesting storylines.
Yeah.
That we saw come to fruition today, and then we'll talk about at the end. But probably again, I thought earlier this year we had one of the best brackets of all time. This one might be up there, so we'll get to that at the end of the show if you want to dive in, Tom.
Yeah, let's dive right in. Let's hop in to some of the matches today, and let's get it absolutely popping. Let's take a look at the first match of the day, folks. We got New York Subliners going up against the Seattle Surge, Embassy Hardpoint, Embassy S&D, LSELO Control, Hotel Hardpoint, LSELO Surge in the show. I'll let you guys kick it off. What do you guys think about the vetoes, man?
I think that Seattle did a really good job here. They let Mercado Hardpoint get in the mix but not get picked and got Hydra out of there to play against New York. I really like that play from Seattle. And yeah, I just thought, you know, just to start things off, man, is we're the Seattle roller coaster they talked about in the interview. We're on the upswing now for Seattle. Looking solid as always in Respawn, but the search looks. But again, I don't know, man, with the team.
Ben? I'm sick of it.
They stole your gimmick too. They talked about in the interview.
No one was talking about Seattle being a roller coaster team except me a whole ass year ago. Now it gets brought up. I'm getting tired.
You're just early, Pat. You're just early, bro.
I know.
Listen, I got an apology to make to Seattle. I was not familiar with your game. I honestly was pretty much cooking them the entire time, saying this team couldn't get better at search. Basically said they didn't have an S&D bone in their body. We'll see if they can keep up this consistency because, as you say, Pat, these guys are a roller coaster team. But I think the big difference this split for these guys is their S&D. Like before, it was like if they did have a roller coaster stage, it was off their respawns, but they're winning search and destroys. And when this team is winning search and destroys, we're seeing their 3-0 potential, come out in full swing, especially against this team. So honestly, I'm pretty impressed. I'm kind of happy for him. I like a lot of the people on the team. I think we've seen Max step up. I think Lamar has kicked up a little bit, but I think Max consistency has been a lot better for this team, and that's kind of, I think, what's been elevating them outside of the search play as well.
Lamar's kicked up a lot of it, I feel like. Lamar's been doing his thing. The last couple matches, he's been frying. He's been doing his thing for sure.
I think Mac is the main catalyst, because I think he's always been their X factor. I think you always knew what you were going to get out of Lamar, regardless if he played well or not. But Mac was always that person that was kind of quiet for their team when you never really expected him to play, or you never expected him to be bad. But he's been stepping up, man.
Yeah, I kind of want to go into the second rotation because there was a few things that I saw that I was a little confused about. One of them being at the end of this P3, some weird spawns coming in from Seattle. We took a look at it during the watch party. We think it might have been the guy Xbox, but take a look at these spawns here. So New York gets an early rotation over towards that second P4 hardpoint. But look at where Seattle spawned. Boom. They spawn right in the back. I think another one even spawns there. Let me keep playing. I think there's a third that spawns there as well. Yeah, there's another one. Boom. Is this guy number 4 blocking the gas spawn by being pushed up Xbox right there?
Yeah, because on the other end, a lot of people when they get the opposing team that's trying to attack that P3, in the spawn trap, a guy will go Xbox or front P1 and he'll cut them, right? So it's the same thing. He's blocking the spawn. There's only 2 places from the spawn. It's either right next to number 2, but number 2's obviously there, or in the back. So yeah, I mean it's a common spawn.
It's a little fugaze.
It sucks that it works that way.
What I don't get is
that's how it works.
How that spawn gets blocked, but the back spawn is not blocked. If you looked at average distance to everyone on the subliners, that back spawn is closer to them than where number 4 was in the gas spawn. So
I mean, either way though, Pat.
Even if you can put logic to it, it's still a bad spawn.
Yeah, it's a bad spawn.
Either way though, Pat, there's no other place for them to spawn. They have to.
They would spawn.
They end up breaking this. They end up getting the rest of his time.
Spawn gas,
yeah, they would still. Spawn
they would have to spawn behind somebody, regardless.
How?
Look because they're covering every corner of the map.
If you back it up, Tom, how is them spawning bottom left of the mini map not the better spawn?
Yeah, Pat, I could try and make Pat louder. I put Pat. I put you to 200% on Discord. You're the only one that's low for me because everybody else is pretty loud. I don't know why. Maybe you could turn up your levels on your side. Maybe.
Is that better?
I mean, you sound good to me. You're saying you're a little quiet in the show, but
I kind of agree with what Pat's saying. I mean, it obviously sucks, and the gas spawn would be probably the fair. We were talking about what would be a fair spawn situation. Would be gas. I feel you, Chris, because they would spawn behind the guy's Xbox and kill them, but instead they get kind of a free pinch on the hill, which I don't know, man. The spawn logic in this game is odd.
Bottom left, I think map is still the best spawn.
The reason why it works in this way, and I don't think it should work this way. I don't think hill control or lack of control, like you said, Pat, before yesterday, should influence spawns whatsoever. I don't think I don't think it should, but that's what it does. If you have hill control, you're more likely to spawn people at the new hill. That's how it's been in this entire game. So it sucks. Like I said, I don't agree with the system at all times, but that's just how it is.
And then a big highlight play. I mean, Seattle, from those spawns, they get a really good P3, and then they're able to chain it and get some time on a P4. So they built themselves a little bit of a lead, and then Mac just goes crazy on the rotation. They had this guy, Mac, pinned in a corner. You can see all those yellow arrows swarming him. And he somehow comes out of this with 2 or 3 kills, man. Finds one on a Kismet. Lamar gets his back. Dante with a trophy kill, and it's a clean wipe. I believe Hydra comes right back with a piece of his own, but Seattle were able to run this up and get some time towards the end of this game. And honestly, they stayed pretty disciplined. After that spawn, after those that P3, P4 chain, they stayed ahead of rotation going into that third P2. And they just made sure that they locked this hard point down. It was a good setup, too. They locked those back spawns. You always want somebody on that back truck. And then you just kind of want to hold PD so nobody can pinch around and try and come in from behind. And as long as you hold those back spawns, it should be a pretty easy hold. Me, personally, after you get a first wave of kills, I think they should push out gas and just kind of push it out. And that's pretty much what they do. They get the kills. AG starts going wild. And Seattle Surge, a really good hold here on a P2. They end up closing this one out. I mean, take a look at the final scoreboard. These guys were slaying out, man. 31-29 from Mac, 28-26 from Lamar. Only one negative was Dante, but still pulling his weight, still putting that damage on. He actually had the most damage, and he was negative. And then AG, 28-26. They were doing good. Good slaying power out of Seattle. Any thoughts on the map 1, folks?
Like I said yesterday, I'm just glad Lamar put away the plant pot AR. I think he's been able to get a lot more kills using a little bit of a looser class, which I think is kind of meta now. A lot of people are using the quicker AR setup, and I think it's helping him because, yeah, he definitely need to pick up the pace for this team to succeed.
Well, why did you stay on that one so long if everyone else switched?
I think it's just a comfortability factor. He kind of just never swapped off it, and probably was just
kept
he was just he was just used to it, and he was just probably he didn't think it was the gun, but I think he's finally converted, which is good to see.
There's still some people that use the plant pot AR unquote. Like, doesn't Scrappy still use that slow AR class a lot?
Yeah, but I think it's more of like a play style type of thing, and also like Scrappy. I want to say Scrappy's probably a little bit more of a mechanically skilled player than Lamar, if I'm being honest. So like he can probably afford to use like a slower class and still let his like mechanics shine. While as Lamar, if he's he's traditionally a slower player, so if he's got to make up for it somewhere, and sometimes that's with like his
10
class.
out of 12 rotations on that map, so
yeah.
Lamar being a plant pot, but
yeah, he's playing better though individually. He's winning a lot more fights, so good for him.
Let's hop into the next one. We got an embassy search right in the starting round, the first round. A little bit of controversy here. Kismet in a G8 spot. He's laying down, and that's definitely a lay down stair glitch, right? Like what he's doing, that looks pretty. At least that's what I thought a stair glitch was.
He apologized after this series. By the way, like he acknowledged, I think he was in a frowned upon spot, so obviously they didn't end up winning the map. But
Did he? I didn't see his tweet.
I tipped Kiz at least that he didn't try to like fight on Twitter like after.
Well, he didn't get anything from the spot, but
yeah, he said he was tweaking, so I respect that acknowledgement from him, you know.
Yeah, me too. I respect that as well. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, maybe he wasn't thinking about what he was doing, but nothing really came from it. I just know there's a lot of drama on the TL with that. I saw Scrappy tweeting about it. I saw Slasher tweeting about it. But speaking of Kismet, first round, little 1v2 from him. Like the shots here with the Scar, 1v1, and it's a 1v1 between him and Lamar. I think Lamar just tried to dip here. I feel like Lamar should have just chowed this. But he tries to run, and Kismet just hits really nice shots onto him. So really good plays coming out of the Bulldog in that one. Next two rounds were super quick from Seattle. They just pretty much run at them, and they win a couple rounds pretty quickly. I like the aggression that Seattle's been bringing to Search and Destroy. It's something that we weren't seeing when they were getting smoked. So it's good to see them actually making plays and getting aggressive on a bomb. This round, I think this might have been a mistake for Mac. He played great today, but got to point this out. It's a 2v2 situation. There's only 15 seconds left on the clock. He sees the guy pushing bomb. I just feel like they shouldn't let this bomb go down. I feel like they should do a better job. Maybe even challenge this. I would have personally would have liked to see Mac maybe jump off AC, try and get this guy off the bomb. But what do you guys think? You think he made a mistake here, backing up and popping Daddy, or do you think he should have shut him off the bomb there?
I think he should have definitely shut him off the bomb. At the same time, there's probably miscommunication. I think number 5 spotted the player underneath them, and they probably miscommed, oh, he's in the back alley mid, something like that. And Mac actually hesitated, and he could have had a free kill either or if you looked at the bomb carrier or if you looked at the guy that his player called out. So I think it's more so just miscom from his team that kind of lost him that round.
Yeah, now you can see Kismet. He just kind of bulls it up top, and he's able to get the kills. And then as we go into the next round, AG really started to kick up. Love the routes that he was taking. He was taking some risk on a map. You can see him on that mini map, number 8. I'm not sure if he popped Dead Silence here. So, yeah, he pops the Dead Silence. He doesn't make any moves until later in the round. We'll skim through a little bit. But he just pounces, finds one on the skies, jumps the corner, finds another one. Love the solo plays from him. He instantly makes it a 4v2. They bounce back, made it a 3v2. But I'm pretty sure AG might even keep this one going. Dante gets a snipe, which ended up being a no-scope, by the way. Check this out. Dante snakes the heady and no-scopes Paco. 3v1. I think they show a little highlight here, too. I think they show a replay at the end of this one for those of you who didn't see the match. But check this out. Dante, top AC, no scope to Paco. I think Paco even laughed that one off. Not really much you could do about that one. And then we go into the next round, and again, it's Pred. I mean, he is not scared to make a play, and he does it again. He pushes right through B and goes all the way through back alley. He finds one onto Kismet. He hears P-Dog climb out the ladder, jumps out, finds a second one. I mean, this guy's all over the map, man. When AG's doing stuff like this, it's hard to stop the Seattle team. So just love the individual plays coming in from Pred. And then we get to the last and final round, which ended up being a Ninja Defuse. I love the setup from Seattle. I loved what they did here. Pred, he's going to find a first blood. He gets traded out. Bomb goes down, 2v2 situation. But Seattle, screw it. Hop the bomb. Dante, watch the top window. And they end up getting this Ninja Defuse off. I know Skies goes to check at the last second. He gets sniped by Dante. But then Kismet, he's nowhere to be found. He's still in the middle of the map. I like the retake there from Seattle. Good plays.
Yeah, but I think New York, like especially in late situations, really struggled to watch the full pinch. It landed Preston, and I don't know if
you talk about in the beginning of the round.
A lot of rounds when they had bombed down.
Oh yeah, even here, Lamar hits it again.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's a miscommunication between Kiz and Preston. I guess P-Dog's kind of looking for it, but it gets bad timing. But yeah, it kind of breaks the setup. And I think Tom and Joe with Seattle on this map, they just looked really confident. In the past, we've seen them play this map, a little bit sketchy, a little bit do nothing plays, bad communication issues. This is the cleanest embassy I think I've seen them play all year. Unleashing Pred with 6 first bloods, like that's insane. They look like a different beast on this map, and a good sign of things to come maybe for the major.
Yeah, it was a great map from Pred. 11-5, 8-4 from Lamar, 7-2 from Don. I mean, the boys from Seattle were really letting it fly. New York looked like they fell flat a little bit today. We'll get into the third map, but it was actually all defensive wins in the control. It was we'll skim through it. We'll see if we can find anything. I didn't really have much in this map. It just seemed like both teams were locking down their Ds, and they were pretty comfortable. The takes got a little weird. I don't know if the takes were tied or if it went to kills. But any final thoughts on the series, guys? As we skim through the control, it was a 3-0 from Seattle, so they take care of business in this one.
I mean, New York's on a. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think this is just signs of a good Seattle resurgence here, at least in this stage. Their S&Ds just look good. I was harping on their map pool a little bit, being like, oh yeah, if they don't get hotel, they're probably not going to want to search. But they've been proving me wrong left and right, so good for them, man. I mean, they're just looking a lot more confident. If they can keep up this form going to the major, like these guys can actually make a run, especially when you look at their bracket, which I'm sure we're going to talk about later in the show.
Yeah.
Pat,
New York
I know
has the weirdest form in his qualifier, Tom.
Yeah.
They beat Rocker in a Neslo last map, and then they 3-0'd Florida, got 0-3'd by Toronto Ultra, 3-0'd Optic, got 0-3'd by Seattle. So it's a weird couple of weeks for New York, where they just showing up one day and playing well, and then the next day not so much. I think this team is still going to be a absolute weekend contender at Force of Land, but it's kind of stuck in this weird blender right now. Last couple weeks, I don't know what to think about that.
You're talking about who's stuck in a blender?
But New York's just like showing up one day and
yeah, just like not looking like themselves. Yeah, I don't really know. I think it goes hand in hand a little bit though with also Seattle just playing well today. They look good today. I definitely think New York is gonna have those days. Like it's hard to stay consistently just like on point. But they have looked a little rough the last couple series, Ben. I will agree with you there. But when you watch New York play, they still play at a high pace. They still have that talent. Like you could see it. You know what I mean? It just might have been like a couple rough series for them. But I actually want to get Pat's opinions. Pat, I know you've had some strong opinions about this Seattle roster, and I would love to hear from you just to see where your head's at. You still have you still have no faith in Seattle, or do you think that maybe there's a little hope here for them?
I mean, I have faith in them at going into Major 3, Tom, to get a decent placing. But again, I think it's one of those things where like, go right back home, Major 4 starts, and it's back to the same thing. Like, have you guys know that that like video? I think it was like a viral TikTok video of like that dude on a roller coaster just staring back at the camera, just absolutely
not making any faces. Yeah, I seen that.
Bro, I feel like that's just the Seattle Surge fans, bro. Like they're just riding the roller coaster and they don't know what to expect, and it's just like, one event the team is elite and the next they're just dog shit. So it's like it's such a weird dynamic with this Seattle roster. But yeah, I mean I think they'll probably do solid here at Major 3.
Yeah, we can talk about the last map a little bit. I just liked how Seattle held on their defense because they actually lost the B point like pretty early. Yeah. But I liked how they kept stacking field side. Like if you get somebody top radio and somebody to help them out just so he can't get traded out. And then you just have kind of your SMG players roaming through mid and making plays like this that Pred was doing. I think they locked this down pretty well. They had to lock this down for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So really good plays from Seattle to just work the kills. You can even see the life count was slowly falling for the New York Subliners. Lamar even hits a nice little Kobe here. Boom. Right onto Skies' head. So good plays from Seattle. They get the 3-0 sweep, and we got to talk about it, man. The final scoreboard, AG 40-28 from
That's
AG.
absurd.
I mean, that is absurd, bro. That is insane.
It's absurd on the CeeLo, bro.
Yeah, we got to show some love for Mr. AG because on El CeeLo control with a submachine gun, I mean, bro, that is tippable for sure. Great plays. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
No.
I just think New York. I think New York this split, they've been struggling to find their map pool. I feel like I've seen them play a different map set like every series. On top of that, their S&D was kind of looking lackluster coming in. So,
But I forgot.
they haven't looked terrible, but I mean, we'll see how they play at the tournament.
Their search has been, I mean, outside of all of this, their search has actually been pretty good.
I'm talking about before going into the stage.
100%. I would say weirdly right now, their search got better, but outside of,
they're in a weird spot, Ben. I feel like their map pool is different, bro. Like their map pool every series is like, it has so much variance that like, I don't know if these guys like have like found their footing. Like they're struggling to find their footing in their maps.
So I mean, the Fred and Mac in fantasy, baby, like this is looking great.
It's weird because they like in Hardpoint, like they've lost 2 hotels, and one of them was to Rock and one of them was to Toronto, like, and Toronto's best map. So like,
and that was one of their best maps, so like before. Yeah. So like that's what I'm saying. Like they're struggling to find their map pool right now at this point. But I think we're just getting to the point in the season, Ben, where like when you're playing against teams that are good, like it's not going to be like a walk in the park for every team.
It's going to be situational for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be situational. Yeah, for sure.
Well, let's hop over to the next one. We had a great series here today. We had Atlanta Faze going up against Optic, Texas. We start things off with a Hotel Hardpoint, LSCLO S&D, Hotel Control, Mercado Hardpoint, Mercado Search and Destroy. Before we get into the maps, guys, you got the floor. Anything with the vetoes?
No, they were pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty straightforward as well for this series. When you have 2 teams like this, I don't think it's anything too crazy. I mean, to start things off, I thought Optic looked great today. I thought the one thing we've been complaining about, the mistakes that they've been doing, I thought today they cleaned it up a lot. I thought they looked a lot better. They definitely seemed more disciplined on their rotations. There were still a few mistakes here or there, but hey, man, people are going to make mistakes. Every team makes mistakes. But as long as they're not making 5, brainless mistakes a map, they should be good. You know what I mean? They just got to kind of whittle those mistakes down. They actually started off this first map massive. They go up about 30-40, but it was this P3 hardpoint that they were able to break in there. I think FaZe need to play a little bit faster here, man. I mean, they're on rotation. They have the numbers. They know they have the numbers. I mean, especially even with number 5 hitting old, he sees 2 or 3 of them at old. I just think FaZe needs to get more aggressive on Ghosty here on this hardpoint. They kind of slow played a little bit. I know Beezy gets stunned, but as soon as his stun goes out, Tyler should jump in there. Slasher, all of these guys, I feel like they should all get in there and just clear these guys at a point. I mean, what do you guys think? You think FaZe played a little slow right there?
In general, they were way too slow today in hardpoint. I think when we get to the Mercado, they were also too slow, but go ahead, Chris.
I think their hardpoint in general has just been struggling. Like, I feel like these guys aren't reading situations correctly. And they're also not getting like the performance out of some of their superstars as you would think. But also on the Optic end, I think these guys just like, they need to respect their opponents, bro. Like, and I feel like when they play against FaZe, they have a high level of respect for them as competitors, that they're going to play a little bit like more safe. I noticed a lot especially on like the Mercado, which we'll talk about later, where they were just like literally just waiting for people instead of just flying out and just ego challenging everything. And I feel like that's the reason why they were able to beat FaZe. Like they respect these guys. They understand that they can't give them an inch or they'll take a mile. So good plays out of Optic.
That's happened in the past with top teams where, when they play up, when they play a team that's really good, you know what I mean? What the heck what is Damon? Doug making Jimbo monitor cam. LOL. I just got a poke from Damon Barlow.
It's old school. We'll get to that in a minute.
Got Damon Barlow, Karma, poking me mid flank, telling me that Doug's making people monitor cam. Shout out to Damon.
I think the opposite is true for FaZe though as well, Haggy. Like, basically, in my opinion, at least, I think FaZe didn't play Optic with that much respect, at least from what I saw. And I think, from a FaZe squad, like, they're kind of going into it. They know where they're at in winter bracket, not too worried. And also, and we've heard Austin's been on the flank and talked about this numerous times, like, the sound EQ cheese is real right now in the online matches. And, like, we're going in a week now, we'll be on LAN, and, like, these teams can't sound whore as much. And so I think that's a big thing in Hardpoint, especially online. Like, you see teams that do sound whore a lot more, and FaZe is kind of like getting to the point where they're tired of it and they know it's just not going to be a thing on LAN, and they capitalize when it's not, right? Because you can truly outplay your opponent and don't have to worry about getting sound whored.
Yeah, Ben, I'm gonna let you take this one, Ben. I'm gonna let you take this one, Ben. I'm gonna let you take this one. I
agree and disagree with some of the shit you say. Okay, so
I disagree with all of that.
The sound EQ thing, I think you're that's I think an obvious one. I actually think FaZe.
You agree with the sound EQ thing?
Yeah, but here's the part I don't agree with. I think FaZe actually have too much respect for for Optic. I think they played too slow. I think they have a mental block into Optic now. And it's the one team that they struggled to beat. And I think they overthink things. We're talking about the hard point and just how slow and how not reactive that they play against a team where I think they need to keep playing their aggressive system. And so, this is a team that they've struggled on land, they struggled online against. And I agree with you. Faze are kind of chilling. Death taxes and Faze going 3-2 in online qualifiers seems to happen every stage. But I do think there's some warning signs here. In general, the hard point just
I think the record is a little worrying though. The match, the head-to-head record's a little. It's 7-1 in favor of Optic.
That goes back to like 2 years ago, though. No,
does it? I don't know. I don't even know in that record. Go ahead, Chris.
Bro, I don't say that care, bro. If you're 1-7 against someone like that, it's not close to 500, man. But
also, I do want to say that to a degree. I want to agree with some of the things you're saying, but at the same time, some of that shit is actually straight copium, bro. Like we've seen Faze this entire split, and even just the history of this team struggle in respawns. Period. Their control has been kind of like 50-50. I think it's better than 50-50, but at the same time
11 right now.
Yeah, I think at the same time, like, dude, their hard point has just been fucking like terrible. They've been losing hard points to teams that they are much better than them in the grand scheme of things. So in terms of that, like, bro, them losing hard points to Optic is not surprising. Optic at the same time hasn't looked like the best this stage, but like I've talked to these guys a lot, and they say like in their practice at least they like barely are losing hard points and stuff like that. So like, I don't know. They haven't been able to transition it to matches, but like at the same time, like we're talking about like with Optic and Faze, like they just give this team a lot more respect and they're playing a lot more.
What do you mean they haven't been able to transition it to matches? They just won the event.
No, I'm talking about Optic.
Yeah, but they didn't win the event. Winning like
Optic hasn't been able to. Yeah. No, Optic hasn't been able to. Like I think this series is not a surprise to me that Optic was able to beat them. As obviously with the winning record, but I think some of the stuff you guys are saying is like copium with the sound stuff. Like, bro, Faze sound whores just like everybody else. They might not all use the sound EQ and stuff like that, but like if you watch them play, there's times where obviously these guys are picking up on sound.
That's just Modern Warfare 2, though. That's just
exactly
his game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's
code, bro.
And I don't think Faze is.
And also the thing about them chilling in winners bracket and stuff like that, dude, that is cope. If they beat this team, they literally put them in a losers bracket, and them knowing this is a team that can contest them at a tournament. I think
you're missing the point, though. That's the point, though. I think Faze is okay with them. Think about it. If Optic's in loser bracket, there's a chance they go home right away, and then the viewership's going to drastically drop off at the event. Faze is coming into this knowing they're probably going to dominate Major 3, get to another grand final, and for them, I mean, why not want to have maximum viewership while they do so? So for me, I don't know, Chris. I don't see the downside of letting Optic in, a team you don't fear at all, be in the winner bracket, because then it's just going to maximize viewership for the dominant run that they're going to have.
I think if I were Faze, I would want to beat these guys. Period.
100%. Let's go to the listening. Listen. I'm taking the floor. Optic, Texas. We're turning to listening. Let's tune in and see how the boys are sounding.
He would just think different.
One more. I think they're both there. One ran to the back. One off. What's gonna be front? We're spawning out. Two front. Back door. Watch out. I have your side door now. I have side door. They give me time. Back door. No, dude. Top bed. He's alone on time. Just freezer. Oh, you guys spawned out front. He's going freezer. One's going freezer. I wonder what's in back. I'm gonna put you guys. Just keep finessing it. Two on time. Yeah, I'm gonna go freezer. TV dead. I stunned him side. I stunned him in time. I'm gonna help. Which side? I gotta break this shit. Yo, I'm coming. Give me a sec. He's just staking. I got you. Yo, one shot time. MC. There's two. Both one shot. They're both one shot. Go fast. They're both one shot. Go fast. Yeah. I'm missing one. One is new. It's fucking easy. It might be bottom bed or something. Or info. Yeah, two on new. Got one. One more main one shot. Could be bottom bed, by the way. Abe could be bottom bed. Yeah. That's him.
All right, so that's going to do it for the listening for Optic Texas. Now, I want to start things off because we were talking about it a little bit during the watch party. I had made a comment about it. I like the energy. I love the hype. I think it's always good when you get some energy and get some hype and it calms. But do you ever think that it's too much to be overhyped? Do you think that can lead to mistakes? Do you guys believe in that?
Yeah, you get the sprints 100%.
The sprints, right? The sprints.
Time, dude, we were listening to their one of their listenings. I think it was their first listening versus like Gorillas when they first played, and they sounded absurdly hectic. You know, I remember like harping on that. Like
Yeah.
I think this is a little bit toned down. They're getting hyped, but they're not like flooding comms. Also, that like the
Kyler's hilarious. Kyler's
nice
hilarious,
with the Kyler, bro. Did it not remind you of the "Let's go, Matthias, you sexy man"?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of sounded like it from the background.
Some out of you.
Wait, it did sound like that.
It sounded like that a little bit. It sounded like that a little bit.
No, whenever he did that, it reminded me of it. It reminded me of
check
it.
for you guys, because you brought up the like 7-2 record or whatever, and I hate those cherry pick stats. So I did some deeper research.
Right.
Since the CDL, Faze is actually basically even. They're 7-6 all time.
Against Optic, Huntsman.
Yeah.
Wait, so what version of Optic though?
Huntsman. Huntsman.
So you're counting just Huntsman, Optic, Texas,
I don't
not
count
Empire.
like fake Optic. Yeah.
OGLA.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of those.
They're even. Like since the CDL, they're even. They beat him.
But it's more nuanced than that,
and they
though.
just lost in Vanguard. Like think about it. Like they
yeah, but they've also lost. They've also lost in this game as well. I'm just saying there's more nuance to it. Of the first 2 years of CDL, they had their number, different version of the team. But in recent memory with the squad, they've had difficulties against Optic.
In common CDL or common Call of Duty way, we just apply recency bias. So it's still not. It's still a cherry
it's like 18 months of fucking data talking about recency bias.
It's still a cherry pick stat. Like if
move on,
you're looking at all time since the CDL, since
past coping so fucking hard.
I hate this argument. It's like, oh, let's just pick a date that makes sense for our narrative. When we look at since the CDL started, since this Faze team formed, they're basically even. They're almost 50-50. So like dude, like one of the things that pissed me off the most is those like ESPN cherry pick stats, and that's just what reminds me. It's like, oh, in the last year and a half, they're 7-1 dominance, and it's like, what?
Well, let's go on board with the end of this game. I thought there was actually a little mistake here from Atlanta Faze. I want to get your opinions on it. Number 7, Abizi. I think he might overchow a little bit here in the rotation. He gets a kill here. I would have liked to see him maybe just keep Kitchen pushed out, like just kind of hold that. He ends up trying to pinch it out, and he pinches through Catwalk, and then he ends up getting picked. So he tries to pinch through Cat. He goes down. Now number 8, you can see him. He starts looking at Kitchen. He starts tweaking. He has to give up the hill. Everything just starts collapsing around him. I think Abe might have went a little bit too rogue there. What do you guys think?
Yeah, if he holds Kitchen and they stall us out and they get a 3 or 4 dead, they flip the spawns, and suddenly this lead, like 50 points, could be not that much, and then you have the spawn. So yeah, no, I thought it was not a good play.
Yeah, it was. I thought maybe Abe just went rogue, because then Faze ended up doing, and then right on the flip side, Optic with 14, 15 seconds left, they only need 10 points to win. I just feel like Optic, just stay disciplined, rotate, like hold the back, and just like get the dub. But they end up 2 pushing old with like 15 seconds left. Abizi finds 2, and then they hit Kitchen so fast that Optic spawns out. Now, granted, Optic still won the map, but it is something to note. You know, it's something I saw.
Can we go back to like before, like where they're in rugs and they die? Like I want to know like their routes off spawn and like when they took them. Like go back a little more.
So we go here, 25 seconds. One guy spawns mid. It was Hook who spawns mid map, and I don't even mind if somebody like wants to hit this. They get in there, so I think maybe because Hook got a 2-piece, they overextended a little bit. Maybe because Hook got the 2-piece, they thought that they can.
That's so unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, look at the. I think that's just more of a good route out of Abizi. Like
it is a good route. It's a really good play for me.
If you go back and look at Abizi's route, because I don't know if many people paid attention to it.
That is a good route.
In most scenarios, like they would have probably caught like a normal player hitting like this connector and killed him. Instead, Abizi literally hits through couches. He catches some really good timing and like reflanks them when number 4 is like picking it up. Like that's like the smallest gap. Like, yeah, they could have played it, but at the same time with Hook getting those kills, like Abizi just caught like the best timing possible for that to like happen.
I agree. So, it's a good point. That is a really good route there, Chris.
It's unfortunate. Like the safer play would be to do it, but due to Hook's play, like if you think about it, Hook made a really good route, got a good timing. Abizi just took another timing and flipped it for their favor. So
they didn't Faze get the back spawns. They're able to tie it up. They take like a 3 or 4 point lead here, and then I don't even know how to break down this. I mean, this was just like unbelievable. This was just people were spawning everywhere. Everybody was hitting hill from different angles. Streaks were coming down. Trades were coming in. This was just an absolute.
Did you see that stat about streaks? Like only 17% of streaks has gotten a kill.
That's unbelievable, bro. That is crazy.
We were talking about it, and then Doug
called him in.
Yeah, I mean the analytical change. We saw it play out, I think, in the Thieves series. Your point, like I think knowing that stat and when to pull it out.
Oh, by the way, this
Certainly
hill,
interesting.
this hill spawns are so garbage. You guys didn't really catch it, but there was like a point where I think somebody, if you go back, like somebody is like in kitchen, I think, or like back kitchen, calling it a streak. They're spawning restaurant. Like one of them spawns archway. Like they're just spawning everywhere, and it's
So
this
you
hill.
That hill's terrible. That hill's terrible, bro.
I'm trying to remember the last
spills
time
on certain hills are really fucking bad, Pat. And like, although I do say that there are times where they're readable, I'm not gonna sit here and agree with the system and be like, this is the ideal scenario, Pat. There's nothing wrong. But at the same time, on some of these hills, there's a way to.
I mean, bro,
obviously
we talking about with this
happens.
hill, Chris. Like we've talked about it before. The fucking Fugate's kitchen spawn.
Dude.
Your team spawns on one side, and one guy spawns the fucking kitchen.
That hill
Like,
irritates me so much.
You can read it, but like it shouldn't happen though.
Yeah, good map from Big Brucey. 32 and 26. He really showed out. He had the most damage as well, 32 and 30 from Shotzzy, so really good maps out of them. On the other side, Abe had a really good map, 41 and 28. He was popping off for sure, but it just wasn't enough. Faze, they lose by 3 points. What a way to start off the series. Any final thoughts on map 1, ladies and gentlemen?
Ghosty's been getting a lot of flack
gentlemen.
because Ghosty hasn't been getting a lot of flack because he's not putting up superstar performances. But when they brought up this guy on the team, like I was even like asked about it, like they didn't want somebody that was gonna go nuts. Like they already have the slayers they want. They just want somebody that's gonna do the dirty work and not be a detriment. Like even though Ghosty hasn't been playing necessarily the best statistically, like he's always like playing for the win and he's always tagging up people. Like he's never
say when they win. Like
yeah, but obviously
he has a 0.7. It's like
but also that's what he's been doing. I think the main person that has had to step up is like it has to be Dashy. Dashy last split was playing really well individually. He was breaking records and stuff like that. You know what you're going to get out of Dashy, and he hasn't been delivering for the entirety of the stage. Like I think if Dashy gets up to like his superstar potential, not saying that he needs to be a record breaker at all times, but Dashy needs to play like himself. Them having Ghosty in the way that he's been playing, he should in fact enable that out of those players. Like they just have to, I guess, get used to it. I don't know.
Yeah, and then we get into the LSCLO S&D, and Faze's S&D just continues to shine, bro. They are so good at this game mode. They end up hitting A. Yeah, it was 12, right? 12 in a row now. Great plays from them. I mean, Faze do a really good job on this map, just banging out A. I thought this was a great play from Optic in the second round. They wrap the map after putting some pressure on A. They kind of break Faze's ankles a little bit. They get the bomb down, and it's Ghosty who actually plays on an island. I like that they get the bomb down B, and Ghosty plays a corner A side because he could just catch stragglers. We've seen a lot of people do this where they just kind of play on an island with a scar, and they kind of just work the map and work picks. And I thought Ghosty did a great job here. Pops to Daddy, finds one, finds another one onto Austin. There's two. And then I think he gets the last one as well. Last guy goes top window. It's a good play out of the Rook, Ghosty. And then we go into the next offense. Again, Faze. They're bread and butters, man. They are so good at just getting on that A bomb site and just working picks. I think it was Slasher who was able to find the first blood mid-map. And they just hit that bomb site out. Simp, Slasher, everybody's getting kills. It's a quick round. Ghosty was left by himself pretty early in this third round. So Faze, they end up going up 2-1. Ghosty, he makes it a 1v1, but there was no time on the clock, so he ends up going down. Great plays coming out of them. Next round, this is where Optic, they like to slow play a little bit. They slow play some picks here. They play really patient on their offense. I like that they slowed it down and it didn't just run at them. They broke the map down. They tried to adapt a little bit to Faze's aggression, and they end up getting Shotzzy to push up mid-map and get a nice first blood there. Hook working with him as well. And then, MC, he gets singled out B-side. He goes down. Optic, they win another round, and then this is where things start going haywire for Optic. This is where Faze start to take over. We got to tune into the plays that Simp made in this round because he just goes absolutely massive. So you can see on that mini map, it's a 2v2 situation. Simp is on that bomb by himself. He's able to find one. I think he relocates here. He plays through bottom checkers and ends up going up top here. I think he goes up the stairs or climbs through the window or something. Shotzzy gets one. Simp gets one on the other side, and then it's a 1v1 across the way. Vaznev versus Scar. Simp. Fantastic shots.
Wow, Vaznev OP.
Yeah, it might be. Good shots though from Simp
Yeah,
there.
he just gunned him.
It was good
I
shots.
just like the
yeah,
anytime a
it's like
Vazev kills a Scar in like
Chris likes to bust my
decently
balls. He
range
likes
shot,
to
I just
bust
like
my
to
balls,
bust his
bro. He
balls,
does.
literally.
He does. It was really good shots
but-
from Simp there.
But Tom, the one thing I would like to say, at least Faze obviously really good at search and destroy on this map. It's been like their bread and butter recently, but Optic was able to make that competitive, and I think a lot of the reason why is like they weren't playing like super standard. I feel like the reason why Faze is so good at this at search and destroy is they're very good at reading like all the standard shit. It's like, the team's got to pick an A. They're obviously going to work the bomb. Like they're going to play these like standard spots. I feel like Optic was playing pretty unorthodox in a lot of their rounds, and they were able to like catch some like weird timings on like the Faze players.
Yeah,
and they were making this map pretty competitive. I thought they were actually like at one point like going to take it, and then Faze kind of just took off with it in like the final couple rounds.
Yeah, I mean this was a really big round here. Go ahead, Ben.
I was gonna say the other thing too on this map before we get to this round. Yep. Especially when I watch Faze play this map, bro, they lay the rock. Like they do not mess around. Yeah. They've got strats to figure out people in that bomb side, and if it's free, they lay that bomb. Like they don't waste time. See a lot of teams play kind of nervous, wait for dead silence, make plays. Like they're confident in their ability to get the bomb down and execute, and then win those post plans.
They play. I mean, honestly, they play different than any other team in this mode, and I think that kind of attributes to the fact that they're so good at it. And back to your point, Chris. Like that's the one thing. I mean, because they're so dominant S&D, like. That's the reason I'm just not worried about this Faze team losing respawns, because I feel like they put it together on LAN every time. Like I think most teams arguably probably have like a 50-50 win percentage in hardpoint on LAN anyway. Like just how it works on LAN. So it's like the fact that they're still able to dominate S&Ds is
I mean, I still
every team, not just particular teams,
I still think Faze is obviously the favorite of the tournament. Them losing Optic is not like, oh wow, all of a sudden like Optic's the favorite of the tournament.
No, I know you were bringing up their online matches though, and I feel like it's like one of those things in online games where if the fact that they're still able to dominate in this mode, like that's what speaks to me more.
That's what separates them. I feel like Search at this point in the game is going to be the hardest game mode to be consistent at. I feel like there's like, even like as a competitor like I play in challengers, like S&D's the mode that like a lot of teams stand out in. I've talked about it every year. At the end of the year, every good team is good at hardpoint. Like anyone could take hardpoint off each other. It's always the search. It's always the search that defines the series at the end of the year. So
just to go into this sixth round here, if Shotzi doesn't mess up his jump right here in the window, boom. You see how he kind of missed the jump originally? He probably gets this clutch because it was legit a split second too late. Like literally, he just got there. So good tries out of Ant. I saw what he was trying to do. That angle up here. I mean, I've never seen people clutch up here. I feel like this is such a predictable angle. Everybody always looks at it. Everybody always looks at it.
You wanna what you have to do up there, and I've made this mistake too, because when I play, you don't peek from that angle.
Peek from like more to the left.
You peek off the left. You peek off the left, then strafe to the right, because you're like almost camera the player that's watching that angle. Right. There's so many times where I've just peeked the obvious angle and got two tapped. Like just go more to the left, strafe out. You'll get the kill every time. I swear.
Wait, people call him the movement king though, and missing routine jumps like that.
He missed the jump. He missed the jump there.
Bro, Pat.
Pat's such a hater.
He's a hater, bro. He's a hater. He's a hater, bro.
This guy's such a fucking.
He's a hater, bro.
King, and he's missing simple window.
We're gonna pull this event. Pat's gonna be banned from the fucking venue for being a hater.
That spot that Dashi was playing behind that palm tree, if he had a little bit more trigger discipline, it probably would have actually worked. I actually like that angle, by the way. You guys didn't really see it because he died, but.
And then this was a big round for Optic. 2v3 situation. You see Kyler lays those shots down, throws in that. He just horks a Semtex. Able to take down MC. Simp goes crazy right here. He tries to jump the corner and just goes rogue. He tries to chow Shotzi. Shotzi takes him down. The trade comes in, and I don't think Abizi expected Hook to still be top bricks. He ends up falling. Good 2v3 from Shotzi and Hook there.
Insane grenade, by the way.
Look at the. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say MC dived to his left to try and dodge that nade, and like the nade actually landed in that spot.
Right. He was so one shot that he really needed to get out of there. He couldn't get touched by that at all.
I think Hugh was lucky to still be up there. Watch the mini map. Look at what Hugh is chasing ghosts, and then end up like after like shot. Look where Hugh is. What is he doing? Like, where is he?
Maybe he was. Well, he just
thought a guy was like underneath him, right? And he was just like so lucky to still be up there. Like whenever
got some good time in there.
He probably thought somebody was lurking. He probably was looking for a lurker.
It was just funny because he was just chasing ghosts. I was like, yo, where's this guy going?
And then we go into the 8th round. I mean, this is just typical Abizi, right? This is just what Abizi does. He just absolutely just runs at him in this round. You can see the number 7 on the mini map. He just runs at the spawn, and he's able to find a first blood here onto Shotzi. And then after that happens, Simp's gonna make a play onto the bomb. Optic gets it down, but 4v2 situation. I thought Faze was gonna hop the bomb here. They ended up kind of slow playing it a little bit. Slasher gets a big kill onto Big Brucey, low pull, and then Ghostie's left, or onto Dashing, and Ghostie's left by himself up top. So good retake. I like the route from Abizi. I like the risk. He didn't take that route all map. So just thought it was a good route. Abizi doing what he does best, running at people. And in the last round, Faze closed it out. We can tune into Hook, almost 1v4ing. It got close, but Faze didn't let that one happen. Faze were able to close this S&D out. It was a quick final round from them. Any final thoughts, guys, on the S&D? Kyler almost did this. He almost didn't. But he was just, he ran out of time. You can see he popped the dead silence. He went rogue. But any thoughts, gentlemen? Anything?
Good S&D out of Faze, man. Like they're the best S&D team. Like they just look disgusting at it, dude.
I want to see. If I'm LA Thieves, no BS. If I'm LA Thieves, do you consider the fact that Faze has not played Embassy in a minute? They've been on this hot streak on a CeeLo now. Instead of everybody banning Embassy against them, people should start playing Embassy against them because they haven't played in a while, and they might end the streak now because of rusty.
Bro, at this point, it doesn't even matter. Like I agree, Ben. That might just be like a wild card. Like just fuck it. Like bro, they haven't lost a search. Like it doesn't even matter if you're playing fucking a CeeLo or Embassy against them or Mercado. Like they just haven't been losing them. Like at this point, you just pick your poison. I will say they have had the most reps on a CeeLo in terms of like high stakes matches. So playing them on this right now might not be a good idea. But I don't know. Does Thieves play Embassy?
Embassy Search?
I don't see them play it.
I'm not sure
like
the exact
ever.
stat on that.
So I don't really know if they play it either way.
They're 2-0 on it. So
damn, they played it twice. Yeah, 2-0 at this stage in the league. Like that's crazy. They barely played it. I feel like they rarely play it. You know what I mean?
Well, I have to go through and see their team B situation. But go ahead, Tom.
No, I was gonna say let's hop into the next map. We go into a control. This is where Optic were able to pretty much dominate the map. They end up winning the control 3-0. So really good control from them. And just to take a look at some of these rounds, the final round here, Faze. They did a great job the whole round keeping Kitchen pushed out, but it all collapsed for them in the last like 10-20 seconds, man. You could kind of see how it all unfolds. So 22 seconds left on the clock. Phaser pushed out Kitchen. It's going to start with Shotzi. He's going to try and push to the back. It's another 2 dead, and I don't even know how this falls apart for Faze. Hook comes in for the trade. Hook finds 2. Salim goes down. They just get wiped, man. They just all lose the fights at the wrong times, man. Really good plays from Optic. They get a good team push in with 20 seconds left. Right there. Anything that you guys saw right there? I thought Optic they clutched up right there. Just a good clutch from them. Nobody.
I don't really know. Sorry, I was texting Chris, but like, bro, I just like, I don't really know what to say. Optic just is way quicker than them on this map. They were running circles around them. There's not really much else to say, man. This is just a one-way domination.
Yeah, it was really good plays from Optic to clutch up at the last second there. Good trades from them. I just like how they did something together and didn't just collapse at the last second. Then we get into the next round of defense. Faze were actually able to get B just like Optic was. It actually looked like pretty much the same round. But Optic was just able to hold on to A for majority of this, or the whole entire time. They were able to just push Kitchen out. Shotzi was doing such a great job just roaming Kitchen, roaming rugs. He was just kind of dipping, diving around this area. He actually finished off this round on a little bit of a spree. I think he was one off a streak, which ended up throwing his life away in the next round. But didn't really matter too much. Optic, clean defense, pretty comfortable out of them. And then we go into the last and final round, which is where Optic, they get the 8 point, nothing too crazy. They start off the round, they work some kills. Everybody usually gets the 8 point. But I like the stacks from them to win the map. They kind of stack it in like a weird time of the map. Like it was pretty quiet around the map. They didn't even really get kills. I think just because they needed one more tick, they were able to stack on at the last second. You can see how it kind of all built up. I mean, Chris, you've talked about this before, but they played right through mid, played right through couches. And we're able to just get some kills and get on this point, stop the clock, and Optic were able to close this one out. It was a pretty quick map. It was a really good map 3 for Optic. Any thoughts, Chris?
I think there are two things that you need to get on the attacking end.
Yeah.
Bed is fucking overrated. Getting bed is cool, but like at the same time, it's not
predictable.
necessary.
Is it predictable now?
It's always predictable, right? So like I think there's two things you need to get. You need to get control of Spa because that'll spawn out the team towards the chandelier and like towards A side, or you get a guy on the main desk because if you get a guy on that main desk like Optic had, it basically it makes it so that like anybody that's trying to rotate over to the point just has to like clear that, and it's so hard to clear, especially now with the snaking meta meta. So Optic did a really good job of like getting people through mid and getting players in that power spot, which allowed them to just kind of like reflood the point. So good on Optic.
Good
for
map
that,
from Who, good map from Brucey. Everybody pulling weight on the Optic side. So good job from them. And then we get into the last and final map. This is where Optic were able to close it out. I mean, Optic again, they just got off to such a big start. And it starts with Shotzzy on his P2 early on. I mean, look at the plays from him. He's here by himself. It up,
Tom, they got an insta break. Like Optic, Faze actually flipped them, and then Optic got an insta break through alley to begin the hill. But go ahead.
What, the P2 hill?
Yeah, the P2.
What do you mean? Shotzzy just goes rogue here. He's here by himself. He's here by himself. He just absolutely pieces him.
You know, played out.
Yeah, Shotzzy's top back. He's top back.
Yeah.
He's by himself.
And they flipped Optic. You see number 4 spawning out. Like they get the flip going, and they can't convert this.
Oh, that's what you. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're right. And then Shotzzy, he just makes the play. Finds one, finds two, puts some shots down, finds another one low. If he doesn't get this 3-piece, could have been a break for Faze. I see what you're saying, Ben, because they got the initial kills, they got the spawn out, but they just didn't clean up Shotzzy. Is where I was going with that. Shotzzy just makes a good individual play. They end up locking down all of his P2. Doesn't matter too much because it's Mercado. I mean, Ben, you could talk about it a little bit. I know you're talking about during the watch party. This was an insane 2-piece by MC. I don't know how that happened, the double headshot. But Mercado, you can lock down a lot of time on these hills. If you're down like 70 to 100 points, you don't need to panic on Mercado. Like you can, as long as you stay disciplined and rotate, you can lock down a lot of time on this map.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I thought for Optic today on this map, where they've gotten in trouble and just being kind of breaking vibes on this map, I thought they did a really good job playing ahead of the game, managing this lead. And towards the end, obviously, Abizi got kind of a crazy 4-piece, but Optic, held their composure and then won on the next hill.
That was absurd, by the way.
That was absurd, bro. Like that desk though, it's actually kind of hard to kill people off, especially with snaking and stuff like that. Like, but either way, it was still tippable.
Snake kills though, right? It was just
the first 2 kills were just cruise missile, smoke, nade, cheese. You just can't see shit. Like the cocaine's going up in smoke inside the fucking
first person than it is on the like from spectator.
Yeah, of course, because everything's enlarged, like because of the POV. You can't, bro. Pat, you cannot see shit in this game after a cruise missile or a nade goes down.
Yeah, it looks normal in podcaster POV.
So here it is on your screen now. So the streak comes in. Optic are looking to close it out. They're actually able to chain a couple hills. The P5 to P6. They just get a really big lead. And then this is kind of where Faze it starts with Abizi. He finds 3. We can rewind that. Damn, he went crazy right there.
Lord.
And then I don't know. The trophies were there.
Wait for like 2 seconds, and they wouldn't got 4-piece.
Yeah, I think Optic. Everybody kept trying to trade him instead of just like waiting for each other. And Abizi took him down one by one. Because I agree, Pat. If they waited for each other here. And then on top of that, he's snaking, so it's very hard to kill him off that head glitch. I mean, even in rank play, when people are snaking that heady, it's really hard to kill him. But Abizi makes really, really good plays here. He ends up trying to save the map. They end up losing, but they bring this one all the way back. Then we go into to this final hill L wall here. Faze get the initial kill. Simp checks balcony. They get 1. But Optic, they just do a good job hanging on. Shotzzy throws the nade down. Ghosty finds 1. Shotzzy finds another one, 2. That's 3. Shotzzy has an unbelievable map 4.
Crazy stat. Ghosty got less kills than there were hills played on this map.
Yeah, look, he was screaming at him. He said, I only dropped 10 kills and you lost. Right? Look, he's screaming at him. He's screaming at him hard.
You fucking suck.
Good plays from the Optic boys. Shotzzy had a great map. Big Brucey played well today. He did his thing. On the other side, Faze, they struggled. Everybody negative except for Simp. I mean, any final thoughts on the series? I thought Optic looked more disciplined today. I didn't think Faze looked that bad. I don't think they looked that bad. I thought it was a good series, but
I don't think Faze.
Still a good game. Like both hard points were close. Aside from the control,
it was a good series. It was a really good series for sure.
I don't think.
But Optic played well.
That good. And Optic, bro, you got to remember, like this. We didn't talk about this. Like Optic had to win this match. Oh, we did talk about it a little bit. Optic had to win this match to make it the winners. If they lost this match by any scoreline, like they were going to losers, they would have to grind through with no margin for error. I think they came out and iced up today. There's a lot to like about Optic from this performance. I think the mistake cleanup that we mentioned in the beginning of this was key, and want to see them parlay that into what's going to be a very difficult bracket starting on Thursday.
Yeah, great series. Always fun watching those guys play. We'll take a look at the bracket at the end of the show, but let's hop into the last series of the day. LA Thieves going up against the Boston Breach. We got a Hotel Hardpoint, Hotel S&D, LSCLO Control, Hydro Hardpoint, and an LSCLO Search. And then before we get into the final series, we are bringing people in to ask questions. Or honestly, yeah, ask questions or debate like a hot topic or something. If you guys do or are interested in that, just join the ZooMAFIA Discord and enter one of the rooms. We got some people in there just that'll help you guys out and organize you guys accordingly. But we're gonna pick like maybe 2 or 3 people to come in and ask a question. So if you guys are interested, command Discord in the chat. Click that link and go do what you got to do. But let's hop into the next series. LA Thieves versus Boston. Hotel, LSCLO, Hydro, LSCLO. Gentlemen, let's hop in. What do you guys think about the vetoes? This was a good series. Went all the way down to a map 5.
Yeah, vetoes are kind of straightforward.
Yeah, I think the vetoes are pretty straightforward.
Yeah, one hill I want to go straight to. It was a back and forth game until of this point right here. Boston, they go into the listening, going into the P6, and I thought they just had good comms, and they really turned up here. So I want to tune into Boston and see how the boys sound.
I
can't wait. My head bad.
Yeah, he's couches.
Right.
That's it. We're looking for. I'm backing up, Joe.
I've won anybody help. They're first. We'll try.
They're gonna go through. Help him, Joe. Yeah. I have your help on the soil. I have your wine, Joe. Sun couch. I'm pitching cat.
Arcane hold. In the corner. Arcane hold missing one.
Moving for John. Kenny.
I ball mid, guys.
I'm on time. Okay, back to Nice. I spawned up front. I have up front. They might spawn like weird. Oh my god! We're for one.
In top bed.
I'm going to my top bed.
Nice.
I'm pushing out kitchen.
That's fine, I think.
Maybe couch. One big careful, Ben. Dub. Con.
Yeah, he's on top.
Below me, man. Nice, 4. They're all spawn. I have your kitchen, Ben.
Watch out, sound on bar. Arcane's on bar. You want my
I'm just holding couch. Get this time.
Well, my
Alrighty, that's gonna do it for the listening for the Boston Breach. They really turned up here against the LA Thieves, man. They look good today. I mean, I'll let you guys kick it off. What impressed you the most from Boston in his first map?
Beans,
bro. Beans was
fucking frying. But also Nero, man. Like I said before, like ever since they got Beans, like the recent Nero form that we've been seeing, his consistency is up there. Like he has not missed a beat. He hasn't been fucking. You know, he used to be high engagements, but you never knew if he was gonna be positive or negative. But now he's stepping it up, man. He's been playing really good. And honestly, hey, y'all see his charm on his gun, bro? He's got the eggplant emoji. You got to think that eggplant emoji is a big cat.
Yo!
He's got the eggplant. He's got the purple pickle.
Yeah, check his spawn out. Is that a normal spawn? Is that a normal spawn there?
Let me see.
So yeah, maybe because number 3 pushed out of it, like they weren't blocking like this back left. Cause look, or number 4, excuse me, like Envoy pushes out, so then number 5 spawns right behind him. Is that normal, Chris? What that? Come on, bro. It ain't normal.
Is
it's
it normal?
Kind of, but it's not.
Cheese, maybe.
It's kind of, but it's also not, dude. I fucking
like. How do you read that? How do you read that, bro?
Hotel.
How do you read that, bro?
Bro, Hotel irritates me, bro. Like I like the map design, but the spawns of some of these hills are way too fugazi.
I mean, was it because Envoy died? Was it because Envoy died? Like,
dude,
It's a white time cheese.
Nah,
bro.
he spawns before Envoy dies. He spawns before he dies.
Actually, it might be the white time cheese.
White time cheese, bro.
Look, right before it spawns, nobody's on hill.
That's actually crazy, bro. That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy,
It's
bro.
another example. Listen. It's another example in
You're
this
right.
game.
It is
of
the
like,
white time cheese.
The logic is like understandable, but the logic shouldn't happen that way. Like that. Like realistically, Thieves should rotate there. Number 5 should spawn out somewhere. Like I don't know, man.
It was a big break because they spawn there, then Vivid gets a 2-piece, and Boston break it, and they extend their lead. It was during the LA Thieves listening. We don't need to tune in with every listening, but
wait. This actually is a question, or for any of the people that like obviously like play like in chat. Have you guys noticed that in other games, whenever you sit in the hill, like actually in the hill, and it pops, you're instantly on time, like it turns your color? Did you guys know in this game, like there's a second where when the hill, like after the hill pops, it's still white even though you're in it? Like it takes a second. And it's not the activation where it's like locked. Like the hill fully pops, but you're in the hill, but it's still white for like a second, and then you actually get the time. That's literally what happened. Look at the white time cheese you're talking about. Somebody's in the hill, and it doesn't even like register them as like being in the hill yet.
Yeah,
like what? I don't know why that happens, but it does.
The missing tick, bro. The missing tick.
Yeah, somebody in my chat says, or somebody in your chat says it's really like 59 seconds. It's not like a full 60. It's like a full 59.
Tick, bro.
Yeah,
it's a missing tick,
it's a full 59.
Yeah, it's so fugazi, bro. That's literally what happened to him.
Thieves made it respectable, but once that listening started with Boston on that P6, they built so much of a lead, and they broke that P2 from that spawn. They were up 100 points. Thieves, they were just down so much they couldn't bring it back. We'll take a look at the final scoreboard. Beans. 34-21, man. Look at this guy go, bro. Guy had an absolute map. He had an absolute series, to be honest. Any thoughts on
wasn't doing that. Zinni wasn't doing that.
Hey, he had his maps, pal. He had his maps.
Listen. No Zinni, more Winnie. First time breaches ever beat LAT.
No way.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
The first time ever.
Yeah. Then let's hop into the next map, man. Let's hop into the the Hotel S&D. I'm gonna take us to this 1-3 round. This is a big 2v3 for the Los Angeles Thieves because Boston, they win 3 quick rounds. They just kind of run at them, win the fights. It was pretty comfortable first 3 rounds. So LA Thieves, they had to adapt a little bit. I like how they kind of spread the map here. They got to make things interesting. When you're down a man, that gives you the green light, in my opinion, to do random stuff. And try and make a play. You can kind of see how that unfolds. Envoy, he finds a good timing through the middle of the map. He's able to rotate and catch Beans and Awakening on his pinch. Great plays out of him with the dead silence. Bomb's going to go down. They're in the snake pit, but it doesn't matter because the last one is cleaned up by Envoy. Great plays coming out of Envoy. A little Envoy flank. And then we get into the next round. And Envoy does the same thing. He's going to find a first blood onto Reese there. I personally think if you're going to push, you should do it together. Reese tries to do something by himself. I don't mind people taking risks sometimes, but if you're hitting Fridge out, you might as well do this with somebody, man. Like, you know people like to play here all the time. So, great plays out of Envoy. He finds one. Boston, they end up bringing this bomb all the way back to that A bomb site, but I like how LA Thieves, even with Envoy getting that kill B side, they don't move. They just hold A. How many times do you see teams, if there's noise at one site, they'll all rotate back, right? And kind of give up like that map control. So I thought it was a good play from Thieves to not fall for the bait. They end up holding A to get a good kill there. Then we're all tied up. Then we go into the 3-4 round. Octane had the 1v2 clutch here with the snipe. I actually won 5 gifted for this one. Shout out to the Stocksman, Lamar's cousin. We had a little bet. I told him Octane was going to clutch it. And he did. He sure did, man. He's got that sniper in hand. First, he finds Beans with the snipe. Pulls out the Vaznev. And I love the play from Sam here, man. Pops the dead silence and wraps the map. If you get a kill somewhere, you always want to change up your position in a 1v1. You never want anybody knowing where the hell you are or where you went. And you could just tell here that big Wake got caught with his pants down here, man. He with the Vaznev out. Little shaky shots from Sam, but stays composed. He takes him down, and then he ties it up at 4. And then that's when LA Thieves, they push that gas pedal down, man. They end up playing over towards the B side. They get some information here. I think they end up trading this guy out. So you can see Nero, he gets one. Next guy up in line is Kenny. I think he ends up pushing here and trading Nero here. Let me just make sure, unless I'm forgetting. So Nero finds one, and Envoy ends up taking him down. 2v1 situation, but I love the play from Thieves. Break the ankles. Beans, he thought they were going to the B side. Thieves said, nope, no, you're not. We're going all the way over to the other site. Always staying active, not staying too stagnant. Really, really good plays coming in from Los Angeles Thieves as they go up 5-4. And then we go into the last and final rounds, which in my personally, remember yesterday we were talking about how teams on defense, it was Minnesota, right? Just letting people just freely plant A. Thieves don't do that. Thieves are like, we're going to hit these guys out on the defense. We're going to get aggressive. And that's exactly what they do, man. They flood through bedroom. They flood through couch. Great plays from LA Thieves. I like the confidence there.
I love the hard counter. The round 10 hard counter is a good call.
Yeah.
I just love that. That's just a team that's really feeling confident making that call and searching. We've talked a lot about Thieves' struggles over the years, but I
like it, dude.
They had to grind this map out, and I respect it because they made a lot of really good adjustments.
But at the same time, bro, like if you're looking at the series, man, this could have been a 3-0 series, which is kind of scary. You know, for some of these other teams, like Boston's in form, bro. They're looking good in every game mode. You know, Beans got a superstar performance out of him in the hard point, although they weren't able to get the dub, dude. Beans and the S&D, just like I said before, dude, Beans' S&D play is up there. So, good game for the Thieves, but still a little scary, man. A little scary.
Then we get into the control. Love the first round from Boston. Boston ended up winning this control 3-0. So great plays out of them. I like how they played his first offense. They play patient. They get somebody pushed up on that hill area. We talked about it, right? Getting those spawn kills. Sometimes instead of stacking, it might be better to just push up and work some spawn. Because I think you need at least minimum 2 on the point, which they had. But Beans, he ended up falling. But I like the patience here. They don't just run onto the point once their teammate goes down. They end up just playing their kills first. They get another wave. And Boston, with the slaying power, with the patience, they're able to cap the B point. We know this is the hardest point to cap. The 8-point people usually get pretty easily, but great patience out of them. Like that they focus kills before the stacks, and they were able to work that first offense. They end up holding on the defense. LA Thieves couldn't capitalize on that B point. Boston do a good job just camping top AC, top hills, just playing kills over towards this field side of the map. It was pretty comfortable defense out of them. And then we go into the third round. This is where Boston, they had to get a really quick cap here on the B side. And it started with their breakoff. They work kills through middle, they work kills through field, and they take advantage of these deep LA Thieves spawn. You can see those spawns coming in. LSELO, man, I mean, Chris, you could talk about it a little bit. If you got a good breakoff, man, and you can block those back right spawns and spawn them out all the way back left, you're pretty much setting yourself up for success.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like the same thing that happens on Hotel. Like, if you can get, unless you get like a 4 dead, like if you get staggered kills, you always want somebody pushing out that spawn, because not only are you gonna be able to get on that mound and get information and spawn kills, but you're obviously blocking that spawn, which is gonna force Thieves to spawn in fucking Narnia, essentially. Like, look at that, bro. Like, they can't get to this point. Like, it's chalked.
And Boston do such a good job. Just after they get the kills, they stack it, and then again, me personally, I think this 8 points pretty easy to get. I thought Seattle did a good job today. When they won, holding just 8 points, because I think it's very difficult. But they do a good job. You can kind of see how Boston was able to do it. About a minute left on the clock. I think they played through right here. They end up taking some routes through mid, just trying to work some kills. I don't even know how they clutch this up with 18 seconds left. It starts with Beans. He finds one in the middle of the map. And in LA Thieves, I just think they have no mid control here. I think that's why they end up collapsing. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but no mid control. It just opens up the site for Boston. They're able to work some kills and get on the point and stop the clock. And LA Thieves find themselves.
Getting caught YY again, bro.
Wait, not even that. They just tweaked, bro. They just tweaked. Like, number 3 gets a kill, and then like he wraps back towards like the backside of the shack, catches a bad timing. But then like, bro, they haven't even got a tick yet. And number 1 gets off the radio tower and then ends up getting caught in transition. Like, he just tweaked. They just look at him.
They tweaked.
Bro, they just tweaked.
They tweaked a little bit.
They had dude. Boston had 1 player on the point, and they tweaked and all died because of it, because they all went hunting for him. Yeah, they just tweaked.
I agree. I think another thing to note too, and how this map has evolved. You know, early on when Estilo got played, like people just had no idea how to get contest on the hill with the guy on radio. Now people just kind of know how to finesse that. Either kind of sit in the doorway contesting or holding the close wall. You can't play the angle. So I think the evolution of this map has also been pretty interesting.
Look at a map from Nero. 27-11 from Nero. Unbelievable plays out of him. He was a hard carry in the map number 3. Any final thoughts on the control, ladies and gentlemen? How you guys feeling?
I mean, Boston just have been playing this Thieves team close, and I think it's about damn time that they were able to like finally close out a series versus this team, or versus the Thieves. They've gone like map 5, like a lot of series on land, online, like
Boston or
but now they got Beans, and that guy's literally a god in search, bro. Like, they're bound to win one of them.
Yeah, 2-0 in game 5 of Beans. So
yeah, dude, they got Beans, bro.
And then
so we're agreeing Zinni was the problem in the S&D ice game 5.
Nah, not necessarily. They just got the ultimate. They just got the ultimate Iceman on their team now.
And then this was a map. I was a little bit distracted during this map, but from my understanding, I know Ben Wheat, me and you talked about it a little bit, but just Boston, or sorry, not Boston, LA Thieves unable to hold on a lot of their holds. At least that's what I was being told by Damon Barlow and Rambo. And I want to get your opinions, Ben. Where do you think it went wrong in this fourth map?
Boston was getting broke. They got broken on P2. They got broken.
Sorry,
on P3.
I meant to say Boston. Yeah. I meant to say Boston, not LA Thieves.
It was really a clinical map from Thieves. I think across the board they executed well. It did get a little sketchy towards the end, not super sketchy, but I think Thieves could have put this away and probably won by 100 or so. On like the last P4, they kind of trolled a little, but I thought this is a great response. You know, we always talk about control being in swing mode.
Yeah.
And Thieves got 3-0 smoked on that map. This is a good, from the start, good clinical response from experienced Thieves team to force us to a 5.
Yeah,
series.
I mean, what is it about LA Thieves? Because their breaking percentage is insane, dude. And even just skimming through it, they break so many hills. They're so good at breaking hills. I don't know if it's their talent. Me personally, I think it's their teamwork. I just think they do things together when they're working breaks. Like they always have somebody there that's willing to trade, and I think that's really important. How many times do you see teams trying to break and they just go one by one and they don't work together? I think LA Thieves, when you watch them play, like they're extremely disciplined, man. Like they're a fun team to watch,
bro. They got coordination. Like if I were looking at like any challenger teams that are looking to improve their game, or any like up and coming players, like trying to like get some teamwork with their teams in the lower tier leagues, like bro, watch the Thieves, listen to their communication and replicate it. Cause like these guys are so unique in that fashion. No other team communicates like these guys at all.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And this is also a really good break out of them. You can kind of see how it all unfolded as well. They all take routes here. I like that somebody plays like the right side of the map. He gets some help from his teammate as well, and they break in onto these spawns. I think Boston needs to focus this left side a little bit more too. They got to be careful, man, especially if it's so quiet over here towards P1. Like if you're Reese, you got to call it out, right? Like, listen, there's nobody here. They got to go mid and left here. And LA Thieves just use their numbers and kind of catch Boston slipping there. So really good break out of LA Thieves on a P2. They extend their lead. And then again, going into the second P3, another break coming in from the LA Thieves. This time, they just kind of break to the front. Starts with Kenny. Again, you can see the swarm of red arrows as they just kind of break down the Boston Breach. Clinical map 4 from the LA Thieves. Was there anything that caught you guys' eye or any final
it does get
comments?
Closer towards the end. Like you'd say it's clinical from Thieves. I think if you keep playing through,
Okay.
and we don't need to watch all of this, like it does end up actually getting closer. And Thieves do end up kind of closing it out on a P1, a P2 actually.
Oh yeah, I did watch the end of this map with you guys. It got hectic
like,
for sure.
It's just, this P4 was a really good hold on Boston. Reese actually did a really good job rotating early to this hill. Finesse, but he actually ended up dying. But it does get kind of a little sketchy. These get kind of on the precipice. And then the P1-2 are pretty mixy. What we've seen before in this map. It always comes down to third rotation, P1, P2. But at the end of the day, I think Thieves kind of basically led this wire to wire. So
well, it starts here, right? Because Boston's able to work a few flips here. You can see the spawns come in from LA Thieves. Why does he spawn out there? Is it because the guy mid-map is pushed up? Because look at this. Look, number 2 spawns at new. Then number 3 spawns at old. Oh, not even at old. He spawns in the back of P3. And then you can see Vivid, and then the next spawn. Look at the next spawn that comes up from Boston. Boom. Then Nero spawns right behind Kenny. Like, that doesn't even make any sense there.
wait, this actually ends up, if you play it out, this actually ended up helping Thieves. I think they won this map because of spawn out.
I mean, like you could maybe say it's number 5 being pushed to mid, but I've seen plenty of times where people are pushed down the back.
That looks trolly, bro. That looks trolly.
Dude, Hydro, come on, man. Like, you guys already know Hydro is fucking trolly. Like, it's no surprise here.
But Thieves end up working a pinch to the front because obviously Envoy, he comes from Dome. LAD's got those back spawns.
He
got the free
also
pinch.
spawned out and got the free pinch.
Yeah, that's what I'm
They were
saying.
tweaking. They were like, yo, we're looking for Envoy. Wait, what?
Well, they killed Ken. They just assumed he was the only one that spawned out. And then there was 2, like, bro, you know.
Yep, and then we'll take a look at the final scoreboard, 29-17 from Big Wake, but it wasn't enough. On the other side, Kenny had a really big map, 31-23, so shout out to Kenny. He was putting down the damage, putting down those kills. Great map at him. Any final thoughts on the map 4?
No, this is a clinical map from Thieves, and then they absolutely failed to execute last map. So
the last map was quick, man. This was a 6-1, just absolute smoke show. I mean, I'll get it going quick, man. First round, Kenny's left in a 1v3. He's going to plant the bomb. He's actually able to find one and get out with his life somehow. So you can kind of see how he's able to do it. Smokes beat, wow, unbelievable. Literally snipes him with that headshot multiplier. Good shots out of Kenny. Then Kenny decides to wrap the map here. He actually almost clutches this. If he didn't hit this jump around the corner, he probably would have had it, but he doesn't know. He finds one, he jumps the corner, and Nero's on a bomb. He gets the defuse off. Kenny almost gets the 1v3 to kick things off. Then we go to the next round. It's Beans. He's left in a 1v1 situation because Octane, he's in the clutch. He hears the guy above him here. If we had the sound on, you'd hear him stomping, but Sam pops the dead silence, takes the guy up top. Boom, 1v1 situation. I like how Sam tries to juke the kill cam here, but it just wasn't enough. You can even see Sam as he dies here. He starts bitching. I think he might have been talking about ping there. Look, he said word for word, I got bullshitted. I read his lips right there. Great shots coming in from Beans as he wins the 1v1. Then we go into the next round, and it's a big 2-piece from Nero. You can kind of see on the mini map Nero Poison in a 2v3 situation. And take a look at Nero, man. Doesn't even have that dead silence pop. I don't know why I'm whispering. And he ends up pushing right.
I was like, who are you talking about?
Like,
Yo,
take a
you're
look.
literally in the game. You are in
Take a
the
look
game,
here.
bro. You literally like.
I don't know why I'm whispering there, bro.
I mean, you're trying not to spoil, but man, like, bro,
Great shots from Nero. Great little play there.
What we talked about time and timing with Thieves, especially on this map, is their ability to just get bloods and just not take advantage of it. With the loss today, now the first bloods worked out. I believe they're down to a 58% win percentage when they get first blood on the map. They're getting first bloods at over 50%, which is like dead last. Or second worst on this map. I mean, that's just not going to cut it. Like, you got to win your 4v3s. You got to take your advantage. And unfortunately, this map, they blew a couple of them early, and all the momentum was out the window.
Yeah, and we're going to the 5th round. Love the plays here from Boston. Nero hits the right side. Vivid hits the left side. It's a double Deddy play. You can see Vivid. He's going to get that first blood. He just catches, who was it? It was Octane with his pants down. Love the route coming out of Reese. And then you can see LA Thieves. They tried slow playing this a little bit. But it's Vivid who finds another one down low, then finds another one here. Vivid was just putting on a show in this round. As you guys could see, Boston just pretty much puts the nail in a coffin in this series. I mean, gentlemen, any final thoughts? I think LATs went around, but Boston are able to close this out here.
What's LAT's record on this map in S&D? I feel like I've only ever seen them lose it. No bullshit. I'm sure they've won it.
They're 4-8, so it's not great.
Jesus.
They've got a very narrow search map pool. You're like the 2-0 embassy, but it gets removed in a lot of series, and obviously no one wants to play Fortress Search, so that's how we get here. And I gotta say for Boston, I really need to tip this last map for him, because we have seen Boston time and time in Game 5s crumble. We saw that 4-0 choke at one point earlier this year, and from start to finish in this map, there's just like clinical execution from them after losing a hard point, like, and with a close comeback. I gotta respect the maturity from this Boston team. Obviously, we need to see them do this on land. But listen, for all the Boston haters out there, like I like the upside for this team after this series, beating a team that just got runners up at the last major.
Yeah, Pat, any final thoughts?
Nah, not too much. I mean, honestly, Tom, I don't put a lot of faith into this win for the Boston team. I'm still expecting them to go to the event, and if we want to bring up the bracket, I mean, like, I don't think they're gonna make.
You want to link it in my chat, Ben? You want to link the bracket real quick?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
I
mean, in my chat. Let's take a look
here. They're gonna get out of round 1, so I don't know.
There's only listen, dude. There's only a couple teams that can be considered top 4 teams in the league. At the same time, regardless of what you might think about Boston, man, I'm high on this team. I think that with their current team and the way they've been playing this split, like, these guys look good. These guys look like they have an opportunity to make it pretty far in a tournament, and they can definitely. They've showed they can definitely upset some of these teams. They might not be consistent enough yet for us to call them like a top team at all. But man, these guys are working their way up there. I love the work that they've been putting in. Nero, like I said, he's been looking a lot more consistent, and at the same time, dude, Beans have been showing out, man. Outside of that first match, he's been playing really well for this team, so gotta tip my hat to him, man, showing out for the challenger scene.
Yeah, man, we'll take a look at the bracket here and see what's going on. Let's switch on over and take a look. So it looks like we got Faze and LA Thieves kicking things off in winners round 1. That's going to be a really good series. New York, Toronto is going to be good. I was
saying earlier when I was saying Fugazi, it's like we're getting our grand final rematch round 1.
Yeah, but this is bro. Okay, this is all the product of the fact that all these teams only played 5 games. They all have unbalanced schedules. The tiebreakers are really difficult. It makes for these weird brackets. I'm a proponent, to be honest. We talked about this, and I know it makes it a little confusing. Of top 4 seeds, you get to pick your matchup in winners round 1. I think it would make it a little bit better. I think it would account for some of the weird tiebreaker bullshit. Yeah, it would fix this tiebreaker bullshit.
Pick your matchup. Wait, that's Fugazi, bro.
No, I think it'd be great. If you get first seed gets a pick, and then you so on, you do a draft.
I feel like there's issues with like every format. Like, you can have a format where like every single team gets put in like the groups, and they play their group based off their like seeds in like the actual bracket. But then some teams will be like, oh, but we never play this team, and then you have this seeding, this way of doing the tournament where like you get like these weird lopsided brackets because of the strength of schedule. And then with the format you're suggesting, like, bro, you get a format where teams are picking what team they get to play.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
there's issues to every series.
I'm pretty sure they do this in other esports. They've done it in league, right? They've done it in league. I've seen it in like I think it would make it way more entertaining. Just think of the
There's
content.
issues to
problem I
everything,
have-
bro.
Just think of the content potential there, man. Like,
Bro, nah, bro.
I have is like I think the major 2 playoffs or whatever the tournament, like that should have some benefit going into the next like event. Like there should be some carryover. The fact that you just have like a culmination of major 2, it ends and then there's nothing going into the
Bro,
next event is kind of
Yo, hear me out here. Hear me out here.
Continuation. That's how old events worked, right? Like you would play and that because you got so many like I feel like the points should be continuous, Ben. Like because otherwise it's like you're just having like 5 random seasons throughout a year. Like that's basically what we have right now is literally 5 seasons and then just
I don't know how this would work, and I don't even know if they would have time in like a weekend or like however long they schedule these events for. What is it, like 5 days, 4 or 5 days to run it? But what if they did like these like matches and stuff like that, see like the online matches seed you into like groups, and then you do groups with like an extra stage, and then you put them into this type of bracket right here based off their placements in groups.
here's the problem: is they want to have one stage, you can't do groups. It's just you would have to make a like 1 week event, and they're not going to want to do it.
What if they did groups though, with like a stage like they did for the pro, like instead of the pro-am, like actually with the pro-am, they only do the pro teams. Nobody gets eliminated. Yeah. It's just groups for seeds at the tournament, and then they do the bracket like they do now based off the group seedings.
Which would be way better than what they do right now, and I 100% agree with you.
But they don't have the time, right?
The problem is the way their events are set up in most of these venues outside of Major 1 is it's a 1 stage, 1 stream situation. You're not going to have like an 8-day event, and so it makes your formats a little bit more difficult to execute because you only have so many broadcast hours, match hours, etc.
I mean, if they did more stages, and didn't eliminate anyone, I think they could do it. But that would,
yeah, excited to see what goes on with the major, man. I mean, we're gonna be there watching live, and we'll be running shows. But we got some great matches in winners round 1, so it's gonna be an exciting event. We're really excited to get there. I think we fly in Wednesday, Tuesday. But it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I fly on Wednesday, so we're gonna be getting those watch parties going, those shows going. But of course, we gotta go to the next segment. We're going into the YouTube comments. Let's take a look here and see what we came up with here, folks. Let's take a look and see what kind of questions you guys came up with. First YouTube comment from Abdullah Gaming. What are your thoughts on the addition of Hixie to the Toronto lineup?
Ultra.
Yeah, Toronto Ultra. I was like, TU. Like,
He is a weird one, but I see what you're doing.
What makes him specifically fit into the team better than Standy? It might be a chemistry thing for me. I feel like Hixie, he brings like those fundamentals to the team. Like I feel like he's a pretty basic player. I was actually just talking about this with Rambo. And he was saying that Hixie just seems like a very fundamentally sound SMG player. Like, just makes the right plays, does whatever he needs to do. I don't know if he's, like, the biggest slayer. I mean, he could get kills. We've seen him do it. But I definitely think we need to watch Hixie a little bit more. But from my understanding, I think it was a chemistry thing. But, Pat, you go next. What do you think?
My biggest thing is just how it's enabled Kleenex to improve, right? Like, we saw Kleenex's KD specifically just jump from, like, a 0.9 to, like, a 1.2. And, like, that's, I mean, like, we know that's an insane jump, especially for an SMG player. And so I don't really think like the Hixie versus Standy individual comparison is really valid, because I don't think it matters in the case of just the Ultra lineup, just because of how much we've seen Kleenex improve since they made this roster change. I wasn't expecting that personally, and so that was good to see that Kleenex kind of got back into form.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like, the team has still looked good.
Yeah, Ben, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's enabling the best out of some of the other players on the team. Let's see what they do to land, because that's been the issue with Toronto in the past. They played good online, and they get to land, they get to Saturday, get to Sunday, and they're not all there. I'll reserve judgment, but it looks like the chemistry fit has been good so far.
Cool.
I agree. I definitely agree with everything that you guys are saying, but at the same time, like, bro, we can't act like they weren't this good at one point in their current team with Standy. I think if anything, you guys, it was clear as day with the way Standy was posting on Twitter. Yeah. This team had a falling out. Like, I don't think it's right to compare the players in terms of what they could have brought to the team. I think at some point they just probably lost trust in each other, whether it was through outside of game stuff or in-game stuff, and they ended up regressing. That's all it was. I do think that Hixie obviously is helping them out, because obviously they have a good relationship with them. But to say that, like, let's say Standy couldn't do what Hixie was doing for their team is just wrong, because they were obviously gross with Standy at one point as well. So I think it's just kind of unfortunate. I do think Hixie's been doing well for them, but they had a falling out, bro. It's clear as day.
Alrighty, let's hop into the next one. A question from the quickie, question for the flank. Could you make a top 4 team with players from the bottom 4 teams? I'm thinking Clay Arcees as Flex, Asum, and Afro would be pretty solid. I actually don't mind that team. That's such a pretty good team right there that he made.
Well, are we putting are we saying bottom 4 just in right now or bottom 4 overall? Because Rocker's probably still like the 8th team.
Rocker's 8th now in points.
Bottom 4 overall, I'd probably say. I mean, he put the Rocker team in there, but
I need to look at the
say
I would do
Florida, London, and Paris. Or
I would do
Vegas.
probably Asum
Asum for sure.
Capsule.
I like that shout. That's a good shout.
Clay, and then we can go with Exceed. I think Exceed's been great.
Exceed's a good shout.
Yeah,
I
Exceed
would
is a good
do
shout.
Asum, Exceed, and Capsule. I'd probably.
Yeah, but Cap's got an AR. If you put him in a flex roll, I think it'd be good.
I'd probably do.
I put Asum in a flex roll.
I'd do Assault,
Yeah,
Temp, Asum, and
Salt.
Havoc.
That's fucking biased as fuck, but all good.
I would
How
do.
was that bias? He literally
Assault's been playing well. He's been playing really well, Ben.
He literally won 2 matches basically by himself.
Yeah, he has been playing good. He's
I
been
know,
playing
but
good.
he is your son though, so
I would do to get a
on
good
that.
mix of everybody. I think I would do Clay, Assault, Capsule, and Asum. I think that'd be a good mix.
Yeah,
for me.
I'd do Clay, Asum, Exceed, Capsule. That's what I would do. I would put Asum on a flex. I'd put Clay as the main, and then I'd put Capsule and Exceed up top. I think that'd be a good team. But let's see.
You get the New York dynamic, Tom. Like New York right now with Kismet and Preston, they have 2 players that can run a sub and they are really well, like a flex level. You would get that with that team. Because I think we should be on the fact that Capsule's really nasty when they are too.
Okay, what is this? What the hell comment is this? This gas you get, the gas you get for being on Optic is insane. Shotzi doesn't have a clue in the world on how to translate kills into hill times / progress for his team. Crim and Clay would never let this slide. I don't know about that, bro. What? Bro, Shotzi's literally a world champ. He's literally a world champion, bro.
I mean, Porter did come on either the show or watch party and kind of make this claim, when
Wait, hold on.
Aaron's on his team,
we
you want
should
me to do
probably
shit
call
like
this
this?
out though.
Yeah.
This is true. Shotzi is a world champion, but only with Porter. And you know who else
Clay.
that's true for, right? Scump. I'm just saying.
So you think these players have a hard time translating kills into hill time in progress?
No, that is cap, bro. If you watch Shotzi, whenever he gets kills, he's always trying to create space. Creating space is progression. It's progression on the map. It's map control progress.
Yeah,
dude, that is cap.
This is cap. I agree, Chris. I agree.
There are people that maybe are more efficient, but bro. Wait a minute, bro. I'm not letting this slide.
Shotzi's impactful as hell.
I think last year or even at the beginning of this year when we were talking about Shotzi, were we not saying that Shotzi was the most? It was in Vanguard. We literally were saying Shotzi was the most efficient player in the CDL. In terms of the way he's playing and creating space. Do you guys not remember? Do you guys not remember we were making that take in Vanguard?
Making that take.
I do remember this actually.
Yes, I do. I really remembered it vividly just thinking about it. Like that cap.
I think Shotzi's an incredible player. I actually think he's such an impact on the map. I feel like Crim and Clay were lucky to play with Shotzi and play with him at champs. He's one of those players that's just hard to keep track of, man. When you play against him, you realize that because he's just really hard to kill. Yeah, he's hard to kill. He's really good at playing his life and staying alive.
I heard at champs though, Fuke was the reason they won. Did y'all hear that too?
No.
Champs
in the team. Yeah.
In Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah, at the actual champs tournament.
Yeah, but they were also locking doors in that event. They were using sound
This was the fucking Slayer burner, bro. The Slayer burner.
But it got 88 thumbs up on the YouTube comments. People do agree with this guy. I personally, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. I disagree. I think Shotzi's a very impactful player, and I think he does a lot for the team. I thought he did a lot for them today against Faze. We got Aerosats coming in hot. A question for the flank. What do y'all think about ex-pro players / current Warzone players tweeting that they're free agents for the season after playing ranked for a while? Do you think teams will consider them, or do they need to start playing challengers to be considered? Nobody's going to pick those guys up. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah,
Who said that? Am I missing out?
What, like who's a free agent?
No, yeah.
I think Tommy tweeted it, but I think he was and Rated's also hinted at it, but I don't know if they're entirely serious. But I think, dude, there's no way that this happens ever again after the whole Optic Mania or the Mutineers Maniac sub thing. Like, do you guys remember that back in Modern Warfare when they were first signing
People were
subs?
trolling with sub picks back then.
Yeah, dude. I think people know. I think people understand. I think people understand how important the having a good sub is on your team. Also, hey man, like regardless, like if some of these Warzone players or even like these other people that used to be pros like are seriously thinking about competing again after getting hooked on like ranked and playing competitive COD and watching it, like fair play, dude. Honestly, I'm one of those players, man. I'm addicted to competing and stuff like that, and I know there's jokes and stuff like that where I'm like, oh, I'm taking a break, I'm retiring, I'm doing that. Like at the end of the day, bro, like it's hard to get rid of that. I know, Tommy, you definitely have that feeling where like sometimes you're like, wow, I wish I was playing. Like
yeah,
it's
all
fun.
the time, bro, all the time.
It's so fun, man.
Some of those guys are doing that because Warzone 2 is just in a weird state, right? Like there's just
by word say you mean dead, then yeah.
Yeah. There's no tournaments. There's nothing to
Yeah,
play
it's
for them.
dead,
I feel like if that was to change, then,
I mean,
they might jump back into
you're
it.
not like the note like talking about Tommy and Rated. Like those were guys that were grinding these big multi-$1,000 tournaments every week, and like I'm sure it hurts now that engagement's not there, and they want to try and do something else. But to your point, Tom, I don't think a pro team's going to pick them up. I think their best chance is to look like there's an open this next week in Dallas. There's the elite qualifier. Like they have an opportunity to get back in the mix, maybe qualify for the elite and kind of grind challenges from there, and then you get noticed because guys like Reese,
I don't think those guys
Tommy have that.
They just need more. They can't just tweet out free agent and expect to get picked up. Like they actually have to put in time. Like that's you have to put in the work.
Is they would have to come back into an environment of challengers where you're basically getting a new teammate every week. Like I think Chris, you were just talking about it. Like people just sketch on each other nonstop up until the day of the tournament. I don't think people who want to come back are gonna be in that type of mentality. Like I don't think Tommy and Rated want to deal with that shit.
No, that's what I said. Like, bro, as a competitor, it's not the game, not being like the best and all that stuff definitely has an effect on me. But like, I think more so what turned me off from challengers and caused me to retire last year and just focus on the content side was it was just a teammate ringer, bro. Like getting dropped, having teammates sketch, like people not wanting to buy into systems, just the immaturity of it all and the lack of security, I think is probably the hardest part. And I feel like that's definitely the most underrated thing about like competing in the lower levels is how volatile it is.
Agreed.
But yeah, they just if they're serious about it, they just need to dive in head first, bro. Like you just gotta go. Just get in there.
But if they are itching, I mean, I'm working on a little something. Maybe they could go pro in eventually.
Here we go. Move on.
Let's move on to the community topics. It's our next segment. We asked some questions on the Flank Twitter. We appreciate everybody who participated in this one. We got some questions coming in. We got Swampy Bandit. How long until Illy comes back into the league? Potential Rockers key to find success. I have no idea when Illy's going to be coming back. Have you guys heard anything from teams maybe being interested in him in Illy? Is he even trying to come back right now? Like, what's the deal with Illy?
Well, according to him, it's ring season.
I gotta go to the bathroom, but go ahead and continue.
I mean, bro. Like, okay, so let me speak on this. So I think right now, where it's probably at is the chatter's not going to happen until after this major. So we'll probably start hearing stuff like Friday night, Saturday night when some of these teams get eliminated. In the case of Rocker, like they have a very tough draw in this major. I think them getting dead last is definitely likely. I don't know about the Illy for like Cammy swap or like that doesn't really. I don't know if that really makes them better. That's kind of a side grade. This is a weird one because LAG's kind of the wild card, London's kind of the wild card, and neither org seems to be in a position where they're going to pay like a buyout. So if Hector and the Optic organization is willing to let him walk for free, yeah, we can see him on another team. But if it's a situation where someone's got to buy someone out, I don't know necessarily if it's going to happen.
But I also think, I mean, like, where do you think his stock is right now? I don't think it's high at all.
It's not because he's been sitting around for a couple of weeks. It's not like he was like a superstar slayer
on the team,
bro. It's also the role player cheese, bro. Like it happens at the lower levels. It's why some of these players can't come up into the CDL. He's a role player. Illy has not been playing and has not been a superstar performer. He's not Shotzi, he's not Dashy, he's not BZ, he's not Simp. He's a winner. He's a winning mentality type player, but he's a role player, bro. And a lot of these teams, when they want to upgrade, they're not going for role players, bro. They want superstars. So it's just hard. It's hard for you to come back. Once you're out, like you're not getting on like a super high hot team until the season ends and it's the off season and people are looking for those. People are looking for the building blocks. That's when it's his best chance. It sucks, but it's the reality, bro. It's just how things are nowadays.
He's got to get to the Patrick Price, hit the text, Start deriding people. Start
I
working the
I don't know why you
politics.
decided that. I never did that once in my career.
Dude, what the hell? Yo, Ben, what the hell?
Pat's on
Not
the
once
DS
in my
cheese,
career.
bro.
Pat, were you
No,
DS
I was-
cheesing?
Bro, you can go back. Not once in my career did I deride anybody. I set shit up, man. People came
Yeah,
to me.
nah,
That's how it
I'm gonna
works.
be honest. I agree. I think Pat was just
I'd
the
never
one.
hit people
Pat
up.
would just
If
make
anything,
moves.
If anything, like
I
I
was a
could have been
master
on way
fucking
more teams if I tried to
manipulator.
hit
Yo,
people up.
Pat
I didn't hit
was
anybody.
nah,
up.
dude.
I've
Pat
seen
was
the
the
text change,
puppet
bro.
master, bro. Pat was the puppet master.
I've
Trust.
seen the Pat Price text change. They're legendary, bro. This guy was a master fucking gaslighter manipulator. But I tip it
What?
because no, because I tip it. No, I tip it.
No, because
Let me finish.
speaking fugazi. You can't tip
Nah.
something to be wrong about it. Listen,
Nah, I'm tipping
every
it.
year, highest salary, raise the salary bar aside from the 1 year Tommy had Faze. Every other year, raise the salary bar up,
You're-
up and away.
Yeah,
And
'cause
that's a cat. Get anybody in here.
Yeah,
From
you're welcome.
2014, raise the salary every single year for all players, by the way. All
Pat is the
players.
fucking puppet master,
I
bro.
changed COD. I didn't even know that.
You did. Your fucking salary on
What year was
Faze.
that? Yeah, when you got retained on Faze, that was the 1 year that you did.
Wasn't it
but-
fucking World War II or after? Or was it after
Wow.
or before?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't
Every
even
other
know
year,
that.
I raise the salary bar, bro. Envy, who I joined next team, C9, then Envy. Who the coach?
You got overpaid on everything. You got
PG,
fucking
and then
overpaid on
back-
Pat's
fucking.
been finessing,
Okay.
bro. No bullshit.
I mean, it's good plays.
Dude, you finesse
Listen,
that
Pat,
like
I
so
respect
hard,
it, Pat. I
Bro,
respect
Tom,
it, bro.
you hear this?
I'm saying I tip
Pat,
it,
listen,
bro.
this is why-
I chase him
Pat,
in the
why
back,
they
I
on your
tip it.
nuts, Pat?
For everybody.
Nah,
For
why y'all on
everybody.
Pat's nuts, bro? You guys gotta hop off.
For
He's just,
everybody.
listen, Slay just knows how to talk. That's all it comes down to. He's a businessman. Let's move on to the next one. Dougie
Unbelievable.
Jones, 69. Do Faze have a mental block against Optic again this year? 7-1 since 2022. We talked about this a little bit actually during the show. I don't think it's a mental block, but I definitely think it's a good matchup for Faze. I think Optic plays him well. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think?
I don't think it's a mental block either. I just think that whenever Optic is playing Faze, for some reason, these guys like just turn up. Like they just play completely different, bro. Like you watch their gameplay, they're not just throwing away their lives, they're not just flying everywhere. They're sitting in corners, they're holding L triggers. They're just playing way more disciplined, and I don't understand why they can't always do that versus every team. But dude, Optic just plays them with respect. They show each other some mutual respect, and Optic, you get the best out of the Optic players when they play them.
I think Faze need to rethink how they approach his matchup now. I think you just the
Bro.
one takeaway from the series,
ESPN stat, man.
bro. I'm sure, but like you can't argue though over the last 18 months. Like they do have an issue playing against this team. They're a good enough squad. They may have to play this team in the finals at ESA, which they had to do last year as well, and that we know how that worked out. They do need to rethink their approach, and I don't know what they do mentally, but they just didn't play their game today.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Pat, do you agree?
I don't think they have a mental block. I think if you factored out online matches, it's not as big as this like.
They have
narrative
one.
is.
They're 1-3 if you factor. They lost twice
They're
at Atlanta Major
strictly
1. They
on
lost at
Vanguard,
Pro
and
Am.
They lost to
And
everybody.
they beat them in Major 4.
Look, I think again, it's just a cherry pick stat. Like they just got smoked in Vanguard. It is what it is.
All right, let's go to the next one. We got Ben Nitznishk 80. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Ben, thank you so much for the comment. What is the real reason why Fortress Control is still in a game when other maps aren't spawn trap heavy like Fortress is, which is complete dog shit to watch? I know Parasite is vocal about that, but I'd love to know why pros don't test new/other maps and just deal with it in quotes. I agree, bro. They do need
Laziness.
to They do need to play. They do need to play some other maps, bro. We've been saying this for months, bro. Fortress Control should be removed immediately, bro. Immediately.
Well, apparently,
It's pure fucking laziness.
Apparently, Dome is too small. Like, listen, like I just don't know who's driving this process right now. But
What about Mercado?
after next weekend, if I don't see, bro, we should make a fucking pact on this show right now. The major ends on Sunday. People fly back Monday. If I'm not hearing by like Wednesday morning that we're not trying out new maps, we just gotta start cooking people.
Wait, what about Mercado?
Let's make a pact to start absolutely flaming people.
That's what I'm saying. We like if people are not gonna be driven to try and figure this out, like we need to be kicking people's butts.
There's no way that Mercado is worse in terms of spawn trapping, but I know for a fact we're getting a new map either in season 2 Reloaded or season 3. So like an actual new.
We can't fucking wait.
I know. But I know we're getting another new map map. So maybe then, but listen, bro, I'll tell you why. It's pure fucking laziness. I've said this 100 times on the show. Pros are lazy. They're complacent. They get comfortable and they just don't give a fuck after. Even if it's going to improve their game slightly, all they do is sit there in Discord, or not Discord, in TeamSpeak or DMs, and they sit there and they bitch about certain shit, but they never go out there and get anything done. They always feel like their fucking hands are tied, when in reality, yes, there are certain things that their hands are tied when it comes to things like snaking or actual in-game development issues that they can't physically fix. But when it comes to the map set, bro, they have a say. The maps are fucking there. Go test them and fucking handle it. They don't fucking do it. The pros, this fucking, we're not in this era where people give a fuck anymore about the game they play. Everyone just fucking sucks it right up and plays the fucking game and just doesn't care. It's fucking pathetic, and I've said it 100 times.
They do the same shit in Roster Mania too.
Actual,
Daniel?
that's a good point. That's actually
actual fucking pussy league, bro. Pussy league.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, but I still got paid.
Damn, let's keep it pushing. Damn, bro. Damn. Your CDL pal. Jeez, this guy's always cooking. What placing did a rocker need to achieve to justify not making a roster move? A minimum top 3, in my opinion.
Make it to the weekend.
Top 2? Or are you saying top 2 maybe?
I think they make it to. I think they get a top 4. Top 4, top 6 to and maybe they don't make a change.
They gotta make it to the weekend.
Are you gonna say they need to win, or they
have to go to the event, win, not lose a single map, and every map better be 250-0, 3-0, and 6-0. And if it's not that, they should make a change.
We're talking about the placing. What's a placing that you are okay with if you're the Minnesota Rockers?
First, a flaw.
So if they don't place first, do you want to break up?
No, here's the thing, right? We said this about Seattle. We've said, listen. We said
blow-it-ups going in the chat.
We've said this.
Needs to go.
We said this about Seattle, and they obviously overcame their adversity, and at least currently they look good. Rocker are pulling a Seattle. They got 3rd. What did Seattle get? They got 2nd. They end up going to the set back home, playing their stage, getting absolutely horked on, having a shit stage, coming back next stage. Where are they at now? Right? They're like undefeated, damn near, or something like that. I don't know the record, but they're looking good. If they go to the event, they place well. Right, roller coaster. Rockers on that roller coaster right now. If they're able to achieve a good placement, I'd say at least top 6, top 4. Like maybe you don't consider blowing it up, but at the very least, you maybe consider making a change, maybe like some sort of improvement, because their consistency factor, like we said about Seattle, like bro, we've said this, they should consider a change too. They're in the same boat. They should consider a change. I don't know if they're going to make one, but dude, if they're placing top 4, top 6, they just had a shitty online stage. Like it is what it is. But if they go there and get dead last again, I'm like Seattle. Here's the thing about Seattle. Seattle got pred, bro, and they got Sib. They actually have these players that are consistently putting up numbers and like at least looking like they have potential. Rocker doesn't fucking have that. They have Afro sometimes, but the rest of them, bro, like they're not putting up those numbers consistently. Bance was an anomaly, bro. Like Bance is a great player, but Jesus,
near enough.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Enough. They need if they don't place relatively well, they definitely need another puzzle piece that's going to just like, at least help them like in the consistency factor and be like elevated. Like I don't know.
Change period.
I think top 4. Maybe they stick together, but even with like a top 4 placement, they should still consider making an upgrade somewhere.
If you're a Rocker fan, you don't want them getting top 4 this event, because it would mean
like the cycle you're saying.
It would mean there's a high chance they stick, and I think as a Rocker fan, you don't want that. You want a change to happen if you're a Rocker fan.
Yeah.
No,
that's an interesting idea. Yeah.
It depends. I think I don't think it's as black and white. We have to see how they actually perform. You know what I mean? But they definitely need a top placing for sure, or they should change. I mean, I agree with the changing part for sure if they don't perform, because it's just been too much. It's been just too many lost maps. But I mean,
they don't have the fucking upside.
Yeah, they don't have the upside, and they're like they haven't even won a series yet in this split.
They're 8th on points. They're 8th on points right now. They went from being safe to, I mean, there's a 40-point gap between them and LEG right now, and God forbid, like one of those teams make a run and suddenly that 40-point lead is 10. Like, yeah, no, they got to be feeling the pressure.
Yep. And then let's hop into the final segment of the day. I hope you guys have been enjoying this show. We might do some one-offs like this where we just wanted to interact with the community a little bit more, but we've never done anything like this before. We're about to drag some of you guys into the call to see what the hell is going on. I don't know who the first one up. It looks like we got Cowboy Hat. Let's drag him in and see what he has to say. Cowboy Hat, you there?
Bada bing, bada zoom,
Bada
ZooMAFia to
bing,
the boom.
bada
Let's go, baby.
boom.
Let's
What's
go.
good? Cowboy, that's
Let's
you.
go.
You're the poet. You're the poet that's
Yes,
always coming in.
sir.
What's up, bro? I appreciate all the support.
Good to meet y'all. Good to meet y'all. Y'all are
Yeah,
great. Y'all are
bro.
great. I
Nice to
appreciate
meet you too, bro.
I
Welcome.
appreciate y'all. Y'all are great. Awesome.
Welcome to the show, bro. How? What's your question, bro?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, since we're on the topic of rocker, I was wondering if they were to make a change, who would you replace them with realistically, and who would you bench for that person?
I mean, both their
Depends
subs.
who they're picking up, I think.
Both the substitutes on their team are both SMG players. So if they're trying to make a switch that is within their camp, I would say Real for Bance, because obviously you're not getting rid of Afro in the SMG camp, because Real, at least in the challengers, he brings a very high pace, and he also has that ratty play style. Fame is also a good shout. He's a great submachine gun player, but he doesn't play as like ratty. And he plays a little bit more he plays like pretty passive, and I feel like in this game you need that sub duo to be really quick and aggressive, and I think Real would help in that aspect. If you're just looking at their in-house, could you guys think of anybody that's like not in-house that they could grab?
I mean, I think yeah, Ben's inconsistent, but like I feel like you're right. I think you got to kind of ride Ben and Afro duo. You could maybe make a 2 change and replace Cammy and Ben, but that's basically instantly walking back.
What about Standy?
Players you got from Toronto. I mean, Kremp's a good example. Eli, I think maybe might be down to come back. Who else in challengers? I mean, Yuli's probably worth a shot. I mean, we've also seen that this org can invest in EU players. We've seen them in the past with, you just mentioned Real with challengers. Like, there are players like Abuza sitting over there in Europe. I don't know if you can get them Insta with visa issues, but
If we're
they've
looking
got
at
a lot of potential ideas.
If we're looking at assault rifle players, because we're obviously, well, I'm not trying to target Bance. It's just like if they're making SMG change, like they're not getting rid of Afro, he's their star. So it's kind of obvious that they would get rid of him in the SMG category if that's what they're looking to improve. But in their AR category, if they were to get rid of either Attach or Cammy, who do you think would be a good fit there if they were to get an AR, looking at challengers and anybody available? Did somebody say Doug? Who said Doug, bro?
That was me. That was Cowboy.
That was Cowboy Hat.
All right, get him out the fucking call right now, bro.
I have one more.
Sure, you got one more? Sure, Cowboy, what's up?
This one is for my man Pat specifically. So I was just wondering, if Optic were to win their home major, the next episode of The Flank, would you wear an Optic hat?
Slay, if they win,
And
you got to
jersey.
make that bet. You got to place that bet,
And
Slay.
jersey.
I guess I don't have an Optic hat though. I don't
Well,
have
you
any
gotta buy
Optic
one.
hats.
We can get you one.
We'll get you one. We'll get you one, Pat. If Optic win their major,
If
you got to
buys
wear...
it, I'll do it.
All right, bet. Well, Cowboy, thank you so much for hopping on. We're gonna get the next person in, but it's always a pleasure having you in the streams, bro. I always see you, bro, showing love. So just thank you so
Yes,
much,
sir.
man.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great night, all right?
Yes, sir. You too, Cowboy. Take it easy.
Thank you.
Bro, honestly, if I'm rocker, I'm just waiting until the end of the season, and I'm absolutely squad wiping top to bottom, coaching staff included.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff conversation is one you probably got to have at this point with the lack of results
Well, you
outside
should've
that
had
one good
Bro,
run
it's
at the
been
end of
4
core.
years, and they've been a top 3 paid org, and
Have
got
one chip.
nothing. Got
Yeah, the one
nothing.
chip.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's hop into the next one. We got ZCCP coming in the building. What's going on, Z?
What's going on, Tom? How you doing? How you doing, guys?
Bro.
Everybody doing all right?
Good.
Yeah, doing all right, Z. You
Tom,
still
do
in
you want
Jersey,
cameras
man?
on?
No,
Yeah,
you're
we're
good. No
doing good.
cameras.
No,
No,
we're
no
good?
cameras.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. We're not doing any of the camera stuff. You're
We're in
chilling.
Jersey. I'm in Hoboken, and I'm wrapping up my 4th out of 5th year in mechanical engineering, so we're doing all right.
Oh, congrats,
Awesome.
bro. You're almost at the
But yeah,
end.
so no, almost at the end. You guys, you guys are keeping me, keep me through everything, and I'm looking forward to this every morning.
Did you play
on
GTA
Spotify.
RP in Rise?
No, I don't play. Nah.
You sound like one of those cops.
No.
Yo,
I
you
would
a
never
Fed,
be.
Z? Nah,
Hell
Z's no Fed, man. I know Z.
No,
He ain't no
absolutely
Fed.
not. Never.
That's my man from Hoboken. Hoboken's
Yeah.
lit, bro. I love it down there in Hoboken,
is.
man.
It's
They
a
got
good
the
time here.
bars, the restaurants. It's so underrated,
Yeah.
dude.
And my girl lives here too, and so I get to see her every day, and she's amazing. So
Nice, bro.
and she's gotten into this a little bit. She watches with me
yeah?
sometimes. She asks me, yeah, she's getting into it.
Cool.
So
That's dope,
pretty
bro.
Cool.
Well, how you doing? Z? Hit us with the question, man. What do you got for us, man?
So I'm right across the border from New York, so I got to ask about New York. I'm concerned for them. I don't know if New York is like a consistency issue like Seattle, because we know that the Rocker game, that first match was absolutely brutal. They just won that match, and then they next come out and they blow out Florida, and then Toronto blows them out, and they blow out Texas, and then today is like what's going on? Do you think that there's a consistency issue that's similar to Seattle and Optic? Or like, as a New York fan, should we be worried moving in? I mean, I know they're second overall in the standings, but like, what would you change in that camp moving forward to keep this consistency?
Yeah. I'll start with this one, Z. I'll start with this one. I don't. First of all, great question. I don't think New York. You should be worried about New York. To be honest with you, I personally, when I look at a team, I look at talent. And when I see New York, I see talent from top to bottom. I think they're a very talented roster. I think that was one of the main reasons why they were able to take Major 1. I don't know if there's like a Major 1 curse. I don't know who talked about the Major 1 curse. I think it might have been Porter. But I don't think that's anything you got to worry about with this team. I definitely think every team's going to go through their highs and lows. It's very difficult, especially in this game, to stay consistent. I think
that's been able to do it.
Yeah, I think it gets a little worrisome for a team, Z, when they just can't win maps and they can't win series, right? Like a team like Minnesota, they can't win anything right now. It's like, okay, now you're worried because they just can't win a series. But with New York, I don't think you got to worry about that, man. Like they got a lot of talent. Even when you watch them play, like the series they lose, it's not like they're getting blown out or getting smoked. It's just like little things here or there. But if anybody else wants to chime into that, I think you're chilling, Z. I think New York's going to continue to do their thing.
I would say, Tom, like I agree with you. I think it's super hard to be consistent in this league. Faze the only team that's done it. I think New York has a solid base, and like the way the CDL is set up right now, there's probably 6 to 7 really good teams, and it's just a case of who pulls up to the event, plays the best, adjusts going into the weekend on things they need to work on after the first match or two, and they get it going. I think New York's capable of doing that with their coaching staff, with the players. I think they build a good system. I think they have a lot of role flexibility on their team. If they've got to change stuff up, I think they're getting a little bit more confident, a little bit better in search. So I would not be worried as a New York fan. I think your team's gonna be there or thereabout all season, and also at champs this year as well.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. I think these guys, at this current point in time, they're just struggling with their map pool. I think some of the maps that they used to be very strong in, they continue to get in these series, and they haven't been able to come away with wins on them. And I feel like that's probably the reason why they're looking so like up and down in series, is just because, like you said before, their S&D looked kind of weird going into this stage, but their S&D has improved. But I think all the other game modes that they've been like consistently relying on, they're just having trouble closing those maps out against some of the better teams. And I mean, it's just Call of Duty, man. It's a day-to-day game. Like sometimes you come out there and you shoot well, and some other days you come out and you're flat. And I think New York's in a good spot. I'm not gonna say that these guys are just gonna win, but they're a contender. So I don't think you got anything to worry about them, to be honest.
Yeah, Pat, should he be worried, Pat?
I wouldn't. I would only be worried if they come into Major 3 completely flat and get like last, like get double rounded. That's the only time I would start to worry. I wouldn't worry right now.
Yeah, Z, stop stressing, Z. Relax a little. Grab a drink or something. Take another shot.
Yeah.
Remember you took a shot, man? Take another shot, bro.
I remember that. We did Crown Royal on stream.
Yes,
Hell
sir,
yeah,
man.
that.
Yes, sir, bro. Well, listen,
Those are
Z,
good times.
I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for supporting the streams, man. And I'll catch you in the chat, bro. You have a good one.
See you guys later. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Yes, sir, Z. Take it easy, bro. Peace out.
Peace.
Let's get the next guy in here. Next one is going to be Blizzard. Let's see what Blizzard has to say. Blizzard, what's going on, man? Welcome to the flank. How are you, buddy? You there?
Yo, I'm here.
Yo, what's up, Blizzard? What's up, man? You got a question for us or what, man?
Yeah, I got a question for Patrick.
Oh,
Yo.
Okay. All right. Blizzard?
Yeah, so my question is for Patrick. So I was gonna ask Pat, if LAG do like anything, like make any noise at all this year, do you think the org will get any second doubts about blowing it up for the CDL team?
Pat?
I don't think they. You want to?
Well, that was for Pat. It was for Pat. Go ahead, Pat.
I'm just making sure I understand. Will they get any doubts of like the org blowing up?
Of like, or like blowing up like their CDL spot, because pretty sure that's like what the rumor is.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no. I think this. I think even if LAG went on to win everything, I think I think the management is just done with esports, is what it sounds like to me. So I think regardless of their performance in the CDL, I think they won't regret blowing it up.
Yeah, I think the question is what happens to the spot, right? Like, are they going to be able to find a buyer? They claim they want to just get out, but I don't know what the rules of their franchise agreement is. I don't even know if they can actually do that without any penalties. So ideally, if they're not willing to invest, would love to see someone else come in and buy that spot from them and do something else with it. That would be, I think, best case scenario.
Yeah, Blizzard. No, it was a good question. I was a little confused at first when you asked it, but yo, Blizzard, you smoke any papaya, bro? You smoke it all or no?
Hey, y'all seen that new Valorant character, bro? That thing looks crazy.
Bro,
Wow.
dude, Blizzard, are you good, bro? Are you all right? Is this guy all right? All right, listen, let's
Move on, bro.
Let's move on.
Have a good,
dude. Is
have
it-
a good one, Blizzard. Take care, man.
Bro, all right,
Later,
but he
bro.
just left the call. He just left. All right, listen. I don't know where
One
Vals
more?
and Gersh are finding these guys. Yeah, let's bring in another one.
What's the new Valorant character?
I don't know.
It's
I
a
was-
character, bro. It's a character that can plant and diffuse for you.
What?
What?
Yeah, it's like has a little robot that can plant and diffuse for you. I swear to God.
That's cheese. That's cheese. Let's move into the next question. Vonderhaar Elite, what's going on, man?
dude,
How
what
are
the-
you?
Hey man, what's up, man?
What's going on, Vonderhaar Elite? What's going on with you? You got a question for us?
Yeah, I got a question for ZooMaa, #1 Optic fan. So like Optic recently replaced like a unknown player with Dan Ghosty. I don't know who they replaced before, but you know, I think they call him Dan Ghosty because like, you know, first he got 3-0'd by New York, and then today last map he dropped like 10 kills. So do you think if Optic still had Illy, like whether it's with the sniper or not, he'd get maybe like 11 kills or like 12?
I mean, Pat, I'll let you take this one. You think Illy would be a good shout if they kept Illy or what?
I mean, yeah, I personally don't think they, at least so far, have looked improved. I think they're an even team. I'm interested to see how Dan Ghosty does on land, though. But to your question, Mr. Vonderhaar, I do think Illy would have got at least 11 kills on that Mercado. Yes.
All right, and Pat, I have a question for you. Are your
Sure,
glasses
do.
like good luck?
What do you mean?
Because you haven't changed them since like 2012, and like you
20
still have the same
2019.
glasses. So like, do they just like fit or?
2019.
Pat, you've had the same glasses since 2012, Pat?
2019, Tom.
2019. That's not that long. Vonderhaar, thank you for joining the show, bro. You have a good day, all right, brother?
All right, bye bye.
Dude, that was
Fucking
Gersh,
hate
right? Was
Gersh,
that
bro. I
Gersh?
fucking
Guy's
hate
a
Gersh.
mer-
fucking
That guy's an absolute.
That's Gersh's
Bro,
OG.
that
Listen,
guy's an
Gersh's
absolute
OG
moron, bro.
podcast character right there.
Let's get one more in, man. We'll do one more person. We got another guy right here. I bets. What's going on, man? You got a question for us?
What's up, you motherfuckers?
What's
you remember
going
me,
on, I
Tommy?
bets? Do I remember you? I bets. Maybe. Did I meet you at an
Tommy,
event?
don't you fucking dare. I was on the
Wait,
couch
you're the
with you
guy
all
from
weekend.
Boston? No way, no.
Oh shit.
Bro,
up, you
no
cocksuckers? What's up?
shot. You made your way back, Brian.
Wait,
You
were
made your way
were
back.
Were you the guy in the jersey?
Yeah, it was. This was the guy in Boston. This is Brian. He was
shit.
sitting on the
You
couch
wear a
with
fucking Red
us. He
Sox
was
jersey,
no
bro.
way. It's an absolute legend, Brian. You got a question for us, or you just here to bust our balls, bro? What's going on, man?
A little bit of both over here. A little bit of both.
All right, Brian. Give us a question,
Oh,
bro.
but you remember my name. I love you, Tommy. You're a G for that guy.
Yeah, I mean, you were on the couch with us every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was also being fed lots of drinks as well. So good times over in Boston.
it
man,
was a
good
great
times.
fucking time. That was a great event.
All right, Brian, go ahead, man. Talk to us, man. What's your question, bro?
All right, so do you guys think that Dan Ghosty's gonna shit the bed?
Me personally, I mean, I'll go first. I actually think Dan Ghosty's pretty good for that team. I feel like he's very like hill oriented and hard point. I feel like he's more of like a fill in the gaps, like do whatever you got to do to get the W type of player. He's not really the player that's just gonna shine in the slang department. You know what I mean? That's just gonna take off. But I also don't think they need that. When you have Bruce, Kyler, and Ant, like I don't think you need like crazy slang power. But when you watch him play, he's got good gun skill. You know, like he can get kills and do what he does. But I just like that he's, to me, like a true, like fundamentally sound, like understands the game, very smart player. Like I think he brings a lot to the team. I think over time he'll just get better with them. Like I think the more reps they get with him, the better they'll be. But what do you guys think, man? Chris, Ben, Pat, anything?
I think.
I haven't spoken a bit, but I don't think Dan's gonna play bad. I just think for the majority of this team, like their success at this stage has been more so on like I think Bruce and Dashy and Shotzi. I think Dashy hasn't played to the level that he did last split. Where this is a quote from Pat, he was basically back-to-back hymns, bro, like just over and over. I think if Brandon starts to step up and play like he normally does, although like there is a degree of worry there, where it's like, oh, is Dan not enabling Dashy to play his best because of his play style? Who knows? But I think if Dashy can step up like he did before, and he played pretty well in this last series versus Faze, I think you're going to start to see, a better version of Optic. Because I mean, like, I can't sit here and be biased, right? Dan is definitely my friend. I think highly of him, but man, he's a smart player. He's a good player. I think given if he was on a different system, he might be able to shine a little bit more in the slaying department, but I think he's doing what is necessary to try to like get these guys W's, whether you guys like his stats or not. He's not playing poorly. It's not like he's dropping 0.6s and they're useless. Like, he's getting hill time. He's contributing in the assists. He's contributing in the damage. There are a couple, like, obviously he had a map in that Mercado where he wasn't playing very well, but hey, dude, they got the W. So, we'll see. I think he's a great player, so I don't think he's gonna shit the bed.
Yeah, agreed. Go ahead, Ben.
I would say that the only thing to look out for Dan is that if he's been doing all his practice and they get to land, the game plays a little bit differently. No sound EQ. And again, he's a gap thrower in this team. If people start doing some weird stuff around him, he starts going like dropping 0.8s. Like, let's just be mindful of the context there, because I can see if he's get a little bit chaotic and he's just trying to be the fourth fiddle on the team, and they're just doing some random bullshit. Like, he might be getting bad timings because that's not how they've been practicing.
He needs to focus on himself a little bit more. I think if anything, he's trying too hard to kind of like be this like one-dimensional, like, I gotta get to the hill, I gotta do this. Like, he's got to make sure that he's focusing on himself, and when it's his time to make a play or his time to get some kills, he's got to do that. Like,
wait, so you're saying it's okay if he's dropping a 0.6 to 0.8, and as long as he's getting hill time and playing for the win?
He's not in all his matches. Like, he had a bad map here or there, but he's not dropping a 0.6. Like, overall, I think in most series he's getting like a 0.8, 0.9. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I don't think that's and they're not like useless. Like, he's still like obviously in the hill and stuff like that, and they're hard points. So I mean, it's not ideal, but at the same time, he wasn't brought on that team to do that.
I mean, shit, Tom, sign us up, baby. I think we can manage that.
We can manage anything, Pat. We could do nothing. We could do anything. I want to give Dan Ghosty more time. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
I was gonna. Do you guys think like the pressure is gonna get to him over there? I mean, you're playing for Optic. No.
No.
You're playing Optic. You're playing for Optic.
I don't think.
Bro, he's gonna have.
I'm actually curious to see how the Major 3 plays out, though.
Yeah,
I am curious. On land,
we'll find out soon, Brian.
Crowd.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has that pressure on him. Simply because, I mean, it's not the same environment, obviously, with the crowd and stuff like that. But he's played in a lot of high stakes matches and challengers, and he obviously won the challenger tournament where he played well. So
not the same.
It's not necessarily the same, but at the same time, it's not like this guy's like completely fucking like not used to any sort of high pressure environment. It's not like he's a hamster.
Well, has he ever played like on a stage in front of a crowd at like a major event, not in challengers ever?
He's done it challengers and
even back in the CWO days.
That is different. That's different.
This is where
he hasn't played that long. He hasn't played that long.
This is where his teammates.
Am I tripping?
No, he played like low shit, but he was underage.
There was no age limit in AW. You could be
after AW there was though.
No, in AW you could be any age and go to events.
Yeah, but after AW there was an age gate.
So, it wasn't even after it, wasn't it? It was mid AW, wasn't it? Or was it after?
No, it was the end AW.
AW is when he like started.
Okay.
No, it was the end AW. After AW, like Black Ops 2 is the first year we had to be 18
But I get what you're saying, Brian, because it is a different atmosphere, when you're on stage with the Optic fans, right? The Green Wall, like it's the biggest organization in COD when it comes to like the fan base, right? So like, we'll see. I mean, they're playing next weekend, so the pressure might actually elevate them or it might hurt them. Like we'll see what happens.
Sink or swim.
This is where those first couple of series, his teammates might need to help him out how to deal with that environment. JP might need to help him out deal with that environment. Paige obviously is a manager as well. She's a go, like help him out and just make sure he's comfortable and they kind of get into the rhythm. They're gonna have that massive room. I mean, y'all have been to ESA. It's going to be loud in there. The crowd's going to be cheering for them. There's going to be a lot of energy. Following that positively is key.
Yeah, at least it's a positive environment. It's not like he's joining one of the most hated teams and he's like having to deal with like the pressure of going against a home crowd. Like he's got a lot of positive environment around him and he's got a good system. So he should be all right, hopefully.
Well, listen, Brian, thank you for hopping on, brother. It's always a pleasure hearing from you, my man.
Of course. Yo, you're gonna have another fucking camera up there for me. Maybe special guest Brian. up in this
Yeah,
bitch.
bro. One of these days we'll get you on camera, man. Yeah, we didn't bring anybody on camera this time around. I got the overlay for that, but yo, Brian, thank you so much for the support, bro. Thank you for
you guys.
hopping
Have a
on,
good night.
man, and
Yeah,
keep doing your thing,
of
bro.
course.
All right, brother. Later. Peace out, Brian. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for the show today. Ben, why don't you sync us out with a little bit of a putt, man? Why don't you sync us out of here, bro? Get us out of here. Do what you gotta do.
I actually wanted to bring something up because I didn't realize this, and this is not a hateful comment at all, Tom, but it probably will be perceived that way. Did you guys know? And this was actually surprising to me. I'm not gonna lie, because we always compare orgs and stuff. Did you guys know Optic has only won 2 tournaments in 6 years since their world championship?
And he sinks the pot. Unbelievable from Benji and his team, but only 2, Pat. I mean, 2 is better than none.
2.
There's a lot of teams that haven't won anything.
I know, but only 2 in 6 years. That's crazy to me. I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. That was surprising when I saw that.
What was the stat?
Optic's only won 2 tournaments in 6 years since they won their world championship in IW.
Yeah, okay, but
Chris,
well,
Pat hates Optic, bro. He hates Optic, dude.
I was
Yeah,
surprised.
hold on. To be fair, whoa.
I tuned him out. I didn't hear anything you said just now.
Okay. So they won one in Black Ops 4. I mean, bro, we got to be careful. Like, they won one in Black Ops 4.
And
like everything broke apart. Everything broke apart in fucking Modern Warfare 2019. I would say that Huntsman did win a home series, so if we're gonna fucking count that,
those home series, come on, that's not a tournament,
bro. That was the lands they had this year. Where you just didn't count fucking champs that didn't happen. Get me a fucking break,
those were not
dude.
Events.
Yeah, they were dumbass event concepts, but there were 8 fucking teams there and they won.
No, they weren't events. Faze wasn't there when they won. Anyway, going on to your point though, Ben, 2 in 6 years is crazy for the level of talent, level of money spent, players they've had. 2 in 6 is crazy, but.
All right, listen, let's end it there, man. We had a long show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Did you guys enjoy the community interaction today? Did you guys like this? We might do this a little bit more often, maybe once a week or something. You know, maybe we can even do some off shows during the week. But I do hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much to everybody who submitted questions and participated in this. Make sure to keep those questions going, man, both on Twitter, on YouTube. We're going to be paying close attention. I saw a comment once on YouTube. Somebody says that Tommy never reads the comments. I read the comments on every single video. I always see what you guys are saying. So anything you want us to discuss, anything you want to talk about, you can always ask questions there. And then, yeah, the burger of the week we might save for the major. I think I might save that one for the major. We'll do a burger of the week for the major, and you know, maybe we'll pick somebody out, somebody who made a bad play or something. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But I really appreciate everybody who tuned in. Shout out to Benjay for sinking a putt too. Ben, great sink over there, great putt. But guys, as always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Anchor.fm/theflank to check out all the audio states that we're on, and go follow @theflank on Twitter. Gersh doing a phenomenal job running socials over there, man. Take care, brush your hair, and we'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Flank, man. We'll see you guys at the major, man. Peace out.